Show. Always Irish Show. Always Irish Show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State. It's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? It's a poison! I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing! Doing a damn thing! The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome back, everybody, to a summer special edition of the Always Irish After Dark show. Thanks for being here, folks. I feel bad. I missed last week. You got family obligations. You got stuff to do. I felt out of sorts. I felt guilty leaving you guys hanging. I felt really bad about that. And then I felt bad Friday. The phone lines went nuts on me. I didn't appreciate that. I felt really bad about that. I think I got it all figured out now, worked out. And I'm just happy to be here, you guys. We're officially in, I don't know where you guys live. It's getting warm and humid here. We're officially in the dog days of summer, which means anything and everything is available to talk about. Like, now is the time where we all need to get each other through. And before you know it, one of those days you're going to wake up and there's going to be a little crisp in the air. It's going to be warm, but there's going to be a little crisp in the air. And you'll know that we're getting closer to football time. So we're going to get through this period together. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some Notre Dame football and college football in general. 312-988-15. The phone lines are open. Anything you want to talk about, we can talk about. Big picture stuff, small picture stuff, Notre Dame stuff, conference realignment, whatever you want to talk about. That's what the phone lines are for, folks. All right. So thanks everybody for being here. Obviously, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Notifications on. You and I both know why. That way you're alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Ooh, that was a juicy one. At emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want me, you can reach me. The call-in line. If you don't know it by now, I can't help you. I got every rhyme in the world. If you don't know it by now, it's 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. I got to come up with something new. I do like that one. It's just fun to say. Here's the other thing. Fighting Irish Wire. Here's the deal. Every day when you wake up in the morning, I know how you are. You're like me. You wake up in the morning and you got all these Notre Dame thoughts running through your brain. And you wake up and you start thinking about it. You type in always Irish, and then you type in Fighting Irish Wire, and then articles come out of your computer or your phone all about Notre Dame football. It's beautiful. Every day, bookmark it, go every day. We don't miss anything, all sports. Be there, be square every damn day. All right? So we got a few things on deck for tonight. We're going to have a guest join us, and we're going to bounce around some Notre Dame topics. And here's the thing. First things first. And some of you have been asking about this because I've been teasing it. And we're finally to this point where everything's all wrapped up. I did promise an announcement. Okay, so now is the time. Here's the deal, folks. I talk about all the time on this show about NIL and about Notre Dame needs to be able to compete in the modern NIL dynamic, trying to come up with ideas to get our Notre Dame guys opportunities, all of that stuff. Staying modern, staying competitive, being in that mix. Quite frankly, it's time that I use the platform I have here to help with that Notre Dame mission. With that being said, I'm proud to announce that the Always Irish Show is going to be the sponsor of Sam Hartman's first public Notre Dame autograph signing. And I am so excited about this, you guys. The signing's going to take place Sunday, July 9th at Forever Young Sports Cards, 166 Southwest Street in Crown Point, Indiana, from 1 to 2:30. And I just got to say, thanks to Mitch LaRock, the owner of Forever Young Cards, for the opportunity to join him for this exciting event and hopefully others in the future. Now, what this means for this autograph signing is that I will be promoting the event between now and the time that it occurs. I will be promoting the event, and then I'm also going to be there that day. All right, we're going to set up a little tailgate area outside where I'll be. We're going to have bag games. We're going to have snacks. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have all of that. All right. And of course, we're going to be talking Notre Dame football the whole day. You know, there's going to be a lot of people there. Listen, this is Sam Hartman. It's the biggest name in town. It's Sam Hartman. All right. There's going to be a line out the door. Hang out with me while you're waiting. It's going to be amazing. So I'm super proud to be a part of this. And I sincerely hope you guys want to be a part of it too. So visit foreveryoungsportscards.com for further ticketing information. Here's the thing, man. I want to be more involved. I need to get out of this basement and out into the real world with Notre Dame and get out of here and do more of that face-to-face stuff. This is a fantastic opportunity to do so. And in fact, I'm going to bring Mitch LaRock on, who owns the memorabilia shop where this is going to be, so he could tell you guys how to get your tickets and more about the event. So let's bring Mitch up here. What's up, Mitch?
What's up, Johnny? How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great, my friend. I'm excited about this event, and I think the people are going to be too. What do you want the folks to know about this event from your end, man? Let them know.
All I know is I'm excited to, obviously, as you hit on a little bit ago, as host the very first public signing for the number one player in the transfer portal, who is now going to be hopefully leading our Irish to the promised land this fall, and it's all going to start here on July 9th with everybody meeting him in person. So Sam seems like a great kid, and I know he's super excited about meeting all his fans.
Yeah, it's what I like about this, Mitch, is I like that this is his first signing since being at Notre Dame. I like that. I like that you're in the mix right away, and he's in town. We want to welcome him. We want everybody to be there and get to see Sam, meet Sam, take a picture, get an autograph, all that kind of stuff. What do the folks need to know about how to get ticketing? What's the easiest way to do that? The best process? What should they know about that if they want to come to the event?
All right. So first off, the easiest route is going to be going directly to our website at foreveryoungsportscards.com. Again, that's foreveryoungsportscards.com. There's an event drop down for Sam Hartman. And then there's a couple different ticket options. So there's a general autograph, any item you have, it'd be $75. Then we have we have a VIP package, and the VIP package includes a photo op, a meet and greet with Sam. It includes a jersey, and a COA. So we'll usually have either JSA or Beckett Authentication Company on site. Because we like to do it first class here. Nobody sitting in the back room faking autographs around here, man. We're the real deal. Everything's done in person by the athlete. So we always like to have those kind of services on site for everybody. And then there'll be some photo op tickets available as well as inscriptions. And then we're going to have tons of unsigned product as well to purchase, from full-size helmets to jerseys to mini helmets to footballs, 8x10 photos. I even ordered some blue and gold magazines for people who want to get those signed as well.
And that's beautiful. And I had a chance earlier this week to make it out to Mitch's shop, out to the store, get my eyes on it. and I could have been in there all day. There is so much stuff I like. There's all the Notre Dame stuff, a lot of Bears stuff, a lot of White Sox stuff. My eyes gravitated towards all the championship stuff from '88 with those guys. The shop is amazing. It's going to be July. We're going to have good weather. We're going to have stuff set up in the parking lot. If there's a line out the door, which there should be for Sam, we'll have plenty to do. We're going to hang out, talk football, play bags. We're going to have snacks. We're going to have giveaways. This is going to be a great event, and hopefully only the beginning of many more to come. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I think when me and you getting together and, just two minds that are just so excited about Notre Dame football, I think that the tailgating kind of feel that we've talked about really kind of hit home because, me and you both at the spring game, and unfortunately weather was terrible. So I think this gives so many fans over here a tailgating experience that maybe don't go to Notre Dame games. I know that, once you see that always Irish flag flying high, it's usually a memorable event.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm excited to welcome Sam to town. It's the biggest name in South Bend. And so I am just happy to be a part of this. And Mitch, I always talk about how Notre Dame could stay competitive and give our guys opportunities to get their brand out there, grow their brand, make a little dough. Like that's all above board now. And we always talk about it. This is an opportunity for me to try and get involved. And I'm very excited. So we're going to promote this. We're going to let everybody know. I mean, bring your kids out there, bring yourself out there. We're going to have something for everybody. Nobody's going to be bored. We're going to have plenty to do all day. And it's going to be a great event. And we may even have some other stuff to come in this season. Those plans are still in the works. But we have some good stuff coming down the road here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is something I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Forever Young Sports Cards is extremely excited to have the support of Always Irish. It's a relationship we're looking forward to just, make, I guess always when I look at it, our goal always is to create the best fan experience possible. And I think, incorporating your wonderful show into what the brand we're trying to build, with the relationship we're trying to build with these college athletes and doing the NIL deals the right way, I think is going to lead to a very successful future. And at the end of the day, I think the average Notre Dame fan is going to have a great memory, and that's all that matters too.
Yep. And, but it feels good to me just to feel like I could be a part of this. That's the thing. It just feels good to be a part of this. I talk all the time from this little studio about Notre Dame and NIL and being competitive and finding these opportunities. So when I get the chance to help with that, I couldn't be more excited for this. It's going to be a great event.
Absolutely. And like I said, we've had the pleasure of doing Benjamin Morrison, Drake Bowen, Joe Walt, Audric Estime's first public signings this year already so far in store. We got plenty more planned for the remainder of the year. And as you hinted earlier, there is going to be a little bit of expansion in South Bend. So everybody should stay tuned about that because it'll be fun. And maybe we'll do a Wonder leaks on this Always Irish show before anyone else finds out. So this might be the place to get your sneak peek.
Yep. There you go, man. I love that. But this is the beginning of what's hopefully going to be a growing relationship. Two small, independently owned companies in different niches, but with the same love of sports and Notre Dame and football. And I got to meet you and see how serious you were about your business and your lane. And you got to meet me and learn how serious and how much I love my part of this lane in this niche. And I just think us combining it's a very natural relationship there. And with that mutual common respect and love for Notre Dame and football. And like you said, doing everything above board. This is what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like. And I'm very excited about it, Mitch. It's going to be great.
Absolutely, man. We're absolutely thrilled. And, at this point, July 9th can't come soon enough, man. I'm a little kid in the candy store ready to hang out with South Bend Sam over here, man.
There you go, man. Yeah, I like that. And Heisman Hartman, we'll get that going too. We may as well get that going too.
Ooh,
You like that?
Like some good inscriptions for people. Yeah, I like that one.
There you go, buddy. I'm always thinking anything. I like that. But it'll be great. And you know, the other thing is, Sam Hartman's new to Notre Dame. He's new to South Bend. He's not a guy that's been here a long time and has a lot of roots here. It's also a way for us to all get out there and welcome him to town before the season and wish him good luck and tell him we appreciate him picking Notre Dame and sticking with Notre Dame, even with some changes in the program after he arrived, like all of that. So it's going to be a great way to welcome him to town in the summer before camp gets going. And, it's going to be great, man. And I can't wait to see where this goes because I know the way your mind thinks, your wheels are spinning. Mine are always spinning. We're going to come up with some other opportunities too.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, the future's endless. So just like I said, all everyone's got to do right now is just circle that date for July 9th on the calendar. Tickets are at foreveryoungsportscards.com. Definitely check out our social media, Always Irish. We look forward to jumping on some more shows with you leading up to the event. And then we will have some cool giveaways. So people should definitely, it'd be worth just showing up for those.
Yep, for sure. So everybody circle your calendars for July 9th. We will have more reminders. I'm going to come up with some other promotional things to get the word out on Twitter and then mention it on this show. Let your friends know. Great family event. You know, your kid is going to love to do it. You're going to love to do it. It's a win for everybody. And it's on a Sunday, you know, in July after the holiday. I know you don't have nothing else going on. Get your tickets and come meet us there.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, thank you for everything.
No problem, Mitch. Take care, my friend. Have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll be in touch soon. But thanks a lot for telling the folks more about the event. Have a good weekend, man.
Hey, go Irish.
Go Irish. Take care, Mitch. We'll be in touch. I got to tell you guys, I'm really excited about this. It's about putting my money where my mouth is. I always sit here in this basement and talk about Notre Dame, NIL. What are we going to do? How are we going to find our guys opportunities? Well, it's time for me to stop talking about it and actually get into it and do it a little bit. And so here we are, folks. So that's the announcement. We've been working on that for a while, working on that deal, making sure everything's gonna line up and work out. And I have my role and he has his role and everything. So we are good to go on that for sure. What do we have here? Feel free to start calling, folks. 312-900-8815. And as we do that, we may as well just do this.
Hey!
Ruin everybody's Saturday night. No, I'm just...
That's exactly what we're doing. We're ruining everybody's Saturday night. John, I think this is awesome. Mitch, Forever Young Sports Cards. It's a fantastic event. July 9th, 166 Southwest Street, Crown Point, Indiana. People, be there. Meet Johnny in person. It's just like going to a game, to an Always Irish tailgate. Be there. Meet Johnny. Meet Sam Hartman. Get his autograph. I tell you what, that VIP ticket, that's a pretty good price for the VIP ticket, $130. Yep. So that's cheaper than actually going to a Notre Dame when you factor in the parking.
Yep. Nope. It's for sure. And I like being a part of it, Pat, because I run my mouth all the time about how important this is. And so I cannot not embrace an opportunity to join for something like this. So it'll be beautiful. I'm going to run some ads, come up with some spots for it to get the word out. And I hope to see some people there. We're going to have like a mock tailgate set up and have some fun. And I'm going to be out with the people while the line inside and Mitch is dealing with the actual signing and moving things along, checking people in and out. Should be good.
You know what I think you should do, John? Some like man of the people interviews. Interview, do some recordings, interview the people in line as they go in to meet Hartman, get their opinions, Ask him just like, oh, that'd be fun, man. That'd be fun.
Yep, my wheels are always spinning. We got a couple super chats, Pat. Let's see what's up. $5 holler from Craigie here. Another a tailgate original. John, is the big announcement a new deal with Manscaped? That would be nuts. I like that, Craig. Us longtime Always Irish fans enjoyed your intros during the early days. So let me explain this. In the early days, like my second or third year, I had a deal with Manscaped. And they said, if you want to create your own commercial or something, you can. And if not, we'll give you this boring script. And you know how I am. I wanted to rhyme it every single time I did it. It was a different hilarious rhyme about something. And Nick your stick, whatever. It was always something. And you know what happened, Pat? I did those. They never paid me $1. I never got any money out of them. Like the company that was like setting it up shut down or whatever. I never got a nickel, but I got to make up a bunch of funny rhymes. So I guess it was worth it.
Craig, you're gonna need more super chats. You got to make up for Johnny's hard effort there.
I'm telling you, man. I made all those rhymes. I didn't get no.
I do remember.
They never paid me.
Used to crack me up. I used to just watch your beginnings just for the Manscaped jokes. It was hysterical.
Yeah, no, they never paid me a nickel. Let's see what V1 Rotate V2 $5 holler at the gym. Couldn't find anything to listen to until John miraculously graced my notification system. Get me mad. Talk about NDQB room over the years. He's trying to get angry while he's working out. Talking about old Notre Dame quarterbacking might do it. That's for sure. All right, what else do we have here? Pat, what's going on, buddy? I feel like we're in the dog days of summer where there's like nothing going on, but at the same time, there's a million things going on. Yeah. Everything's in flux. Everything's in flux.
You know, they talked about a few years ago when all of the conference realignment started happening that it's gonna settle down and get better. But I think it's getting crazier now. Now you got this. Oh, Nick Shepkowski's here. Hey, Nick. Now you got this crazy deal where the Big Ten contract is, I'm not going to say falling apart, but it's not signed. At least the last I've read, it's not signed. There's some back end money that the schools are losing. So it's no longer the 90 million, or it's looking more like 70 to 75 million. And then AAU affiliation.
Yep.
And for people that don't understand the big deal with the AAU affiliation is every Big Ten school is in the AAU. And in order to get into the Big Ten, you have to be in the AAU. Now, in order to get in you can't just go to AAU and join it. You have to be invited to it. And so the fact that Notre Dame for 125 years was never invited to it, and all of a sudden they are now, that starts turning wheels. And when I called in when I was in French Lick a couple weeks ago during your show, and we talked about what this Big Ten contract and the NBC requested $75 million from NBC and what that's going to look like. And I said, it's a path to the Big Ten. Dr. John, good to see you. I did not have a good round today, but it's a path to the Big Ten with AAU affiliation now. I think that path is getting clearer. And again, I'm an independence guy. I'm just stating the obvious.
Yeah. But here's what I don't know about this. Is this just something they might want to do because they want to do it no matter what, to do it because it looks like a good affiliation, accreditation, whatever it is to have? Like, I think I underestimated what this signifies. But there's no way for me to know exactly where we stand.
Yeah, I don't.
But Pat, right when that news broke, all these Big Ten people were DMing me on Twitter and they're going, "Oh, buddy, how's it going, new neighbor?" Like, I got a whole bunch of those messages and emails, Pat, welcoming me to the Big Ten. Huh?
Said a bunch of dudes slipping into your DMs.
They were for all the wrong reasons.
But
all the wrong reasons. Talking to me about that. I wish it was something else. But they were all, Pat, they were all saying, "John, this is step one. This is the first domino, whatever." But I don't know what to make of it.
I can't argue with them though. This has always been a definitive line between Notre Dame and the Big Ten. Now, the AAU is all about being a research institution, and no one can ever say that Notre Dame's not a research institution. So it's not like Notre Dame going into AAU is a bad thing from Notre Dame's perspective. But at the same time, this has to open your eyes and say, this just made the path easier. I think Notre Dame's contract with NBC, with the Big Ten, if they do get their deal signed with the NBC, makes the path easier. AAU affiliation makes the path easier. I do not want this. I want Notre Dame to keep its independence, but again, at what cost? What would that actually mean? And I think if conjecture on my part, I believe Notre Dame is setting up to join the Big Ten. And I'm not, and just like I said a couple weeks ago when I called in, when I had to miss the show, it's not tomorrow, it's not next year, it's not 3 years from now, it's probably 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, but Notre Dame's setting up to join the Big Ten.
Yeah, and one of the things I've been asking practically and like in practicality and philosophically, Pat, I have asked myself this. I have said, at what point does the Notre Dame administration that sits in that room, where do they look at themselves and go, wait a second, why are we making life so much harder on ourselves than it has to be? When the answer might be right there financially, academically, whatever else, all of it lines up. You would have rivalry games all the time. Like, I'm an independence guy too, but I feel like those powers that be at Notre Dame at some point are going to go, why are we doing this to ourselves? It doesn't have to be this damn hard. Like the answer's right there. And Pat, I took crap for this last week when I said, I think I actually wrote about this too on Irish Wire, said, if you had to do this, it's a really good B plan to independence. Like if you had to give up the independence and go to that Big Ten, I don't like giving up independence because it feels like you're admitting you can't win your way anymore. And that hits me a little hard. Like, that's hard for me to swallow. But the Big Ten as a backup plan is pretty solid. Like, get over the Michigan hatred, get over Fielding Yost, get over all that. Like, when you know how emotional I get about this. When I call timeout on all those emotions and I'm able to separate myself from how much I hate Michigan and all these Big Ten people, it's a good fit. If you had to do something, that's a good option. It's a good plan B. It isn't my first choice, but if you made me do it, it's a good fit for a plan B.
I don't argue. I don't disagree with that at all. And the only reason it becomes a good fit for Notre Dame is because USC joined the Big Ten.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
That was the cherry on top.
That's cherry on top.
That was the cherry on top.
USC is in the Big Ten. And to go back on it, like, independence made Notre Dame. Like, we could talk about, we've covered ad nauseum why Notre Dame is independent. We talk about the Michigan and the Big Ten stuff of the early 1900s. But the independence is what made Notre Dame. We always did it playing everybody from coast to coast.
Yep.
The Big Ten is a coast to coast conference now.
Yep.
The only thing the Big Ten doesn't give you is the South.
Yep.
That's the only thing it doesn't give you. But what does the South not give you? The North. And you can't tell me that, I understand SEC is the SEC, and they got Texas and Alabama and Oklahoma. They got the three premier programs in the country. Who are the other probably 3 or 4? USC, Notre Dame, Michigan, and Ohio State. All right. Where are they at? Like LSU, okay, sure, maybe LSU, but it's Alabama, it's Texas, it's Oklahoma, it's USC, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Michigan.
Yeah, and I admit, Pat, my attitude towards this as a plan B, if we must go that route, it did change when USC joined, because that was it's so important to me. And then I started thinking, like you said, then I got all of those rivalries, Michigan, Ohio State, Purdue, Michigan State, Wisconsin, go out, play Penn State, all that. Man, and then you add USC to that. If you had to do it, it's a good plan B. But Pat, here's what I'm not going to like is if this happened, whenever it happened, Now, all these Big Ten people are going, join. It makes sense. It'll bolster their conference and help the profile, that old thing, all of that. They're all going, John, it makes, like, the reasonable ones go to me and go, it makes sense. Why are you guys holding out, making it harder on yourself, paying the Notre Dame Independence playoff tax, all of that stuff we got to do. And they're saying that now, but Pat, you and I both know damn well, if we joined, then those messages would overnight turn into, see, you losers are admitting you couldn't do it your way. You had to come join us and crawl back to us because you couldn't win it your way.
Crawl back.
You know they're going to say that.
Well, there's a very easy way to respond to that. Number one, we won it our way 11 times. And
yeah.
And
the problem is most of them were before electricity. I'm serious.
The combustion engine.
Newt had to go to work. He cranked up the Model T, all right? Like, it's been a while. Give me a break. It's been a while.
It's been a while. But, I mean, Notre Dame proved, I mean, the landscape of college football has changed, and conferences have changed it. I'm not going to say to force Notre Dame to do this, but conferences have changed it, and as they've changed it, they don't mind turning that knife on Notre Dame. That's kind of the way I see it. I talk about this all the time. Notre Dame always has some of the top-rated college football games, even when they're a bad team, even when they're a 7-5 team or a 9-3 team. They still get some of the best-rated college football games in the country. They're always on with NBC, so everyone can see them across the country. But people watch Notre Dame, and so of course the Big Ten is going to do what they have to do to get Notre Dame into the Big Ten. Of course, it enhances their profile. Of course, it makes everything they're trying to do better. So it doesn't surprise me the way college football is going and the fact that it's trying to turn the knife on Notre Dame, because everyone wants Notre Dame to comply.
Yep. Can I ask you one thing that's come up? It came up on Friday's show, and I want to ask you this. A guy called, or maybe it was another show, whatever. The guy called and said, if Notre Dame's interested in doing this, it needs to be the SEC. Talking about you want to play in the heavy inning conference and all that. And I said, I don't know where those academics line up and if they want to do that or not. But the guy started talking about that's where the talent is. And nobody could doubt that, the Southeast has a lot of raw high school talent, hot recruiting beds. We all know that.
Yeah.
And he's going, you want to be down there all the time in that mix and everything for recruiting. And then my question to him is, what makes you think just because we're playing down there, we're going to land those recruits? I don't see it that way, because we're still in Indiana. I don't think just because we're playing them that it's going to open all those doors to those recruits that before weren't interested and now they are. Like, I just don't see that as a fit. And I just think the Big Ten, every arrow, Pat, is just pointing me to the Big Ten, and I hate it, but I got to admit it.
So I heard the interview. I remember kind of what he was saying. I don't know academically if it's like Vanderbilt's in the SEC. So there's obviously a good academic school in the SEC. It's the talent's there, but Notre Dame gets talent from those areas. Probably would they get more talent from those areas if they were in this playing in the SEC? Yeah, I don't know if you can argue with that. They're more available down there at that point. But Ohio State very recently has proven that you can win a national championship in the North. Michigan is Jim Harbaugh is woken up. He's woken up. I mean, if anybody looks at what Michigan is doing right now, pays any sort of attention, you got to be scared of Jim Harbaugh right now. He's figuring stuff out.
I hate it too. And when you combine it with the high school schedule, it gets real scary. Because they don't play anybody till Penn State on November 11th. They literally play nobody for 2 months, and then they have a 2-game season of Penn State and Ohio State. Their recruiting's taken a big uptick. And Pat, I wonder if a part of it is maybe the constant question of Harbaugh jumping to the NFL, whatever, and then maybe now that it's like that's calmed down, people feel more comfortable going there. The other thing, Pat, is I don't know how you measure this, but what kind of recruiting run have they gotten to be able to put up what they've done to Ohio State the last 2 years? That can't hurt in recruiting because those weren't even just like close battles that you won. They kicked the crap out of them guys 2 years in a row. That's a big feather in the cap. I hate giving Michigan credit for anything. The recruiting's on an upswing. You combine that with a soft schedule, and you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Michigan, I think Michigan has supplanted Ohio State, obviously beat them 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And so I Michigan is proving, and just as Ohio State proved before Michigan, that a Northern team can win, a Northern team can pull Southern talent. And there's so many good schools in the South. There's just so many kids. Remember it always used to be about Texas. It always used to be Texas. Now it's about Louisiana and Alabama. It always used to be about Southern California. There's hotspots. There are parts of the country where talent just percolates for a while and then it kind of dies out, then it comes back. There's kids all across this nation. Didn't we have a kid from Germany? I know he just went back home, didn't play much. But
that was a Kelly RKG experiment, I think. That's what that was. That was an RKG. He figured, I'm not going to recruit in America. Maybe I'll cheat the system and find some guys overseas that want to come here. And no one's heard of them, but I'll go find a big German and bring him over.
Yeah, Kent Jackson is all right. Kent, I'll bring it. Kent, I'll bring it.
Kent's fantastic. Kent joined. He's an Ohio State guy.
I know.
Do you know his backstory?
I know.
And
I know.
He's back, baby.
And again, Kent, congratulations on the baby. I hope everything is doing well. I think we're probably about a month or two old at this point, right, Kent?
Yep. And Adam Dowling, thanks for the $20 hour. Adam, he texted me, Pat, earlier before the show, and he said, John, I got to apologize. I'm on a family camping trip. I'm not going to be able to watch the whole time. And sure enough, here he is anyway.
He's still dropping 20s.
I really appreciate it. Where was it, Pat? I'm going to highlight this. The Ohio podcast, which I will be joining in a few weeks, by the way. I'm going to go join their show. We're going to talk Notre Dame, Ohio State. Should be fun. They've been tuning in lately. He says, you guys are killing me with the discussion about Michigan beating our butts. And he won't even put the M. It's an X. I appreciate that level of petty. Somebody like me appreciates.
That's exactly where we are. I loathe Michigan so much more than Ohio State. I would much rather see Ohio State beat Michigan. I want Michigan to go 0-12 every year. I loathe Michigan so much, almost as much as USC. But at the same time, you got it. Mad props to Harbaugh. He's recruiting. He's clearly starting to develop talent because he wasn't recruiting that great before. But now he's just got it rocking and rolling. And if he truly gets a quarterback like he got at Stanford, oh God, watch out.
Yeah. And you know what else I kind of hope too, Pat, is the road for them so easy this year. Yeah. I'm hoping because of that schedule that they're soft. They don't win a title. They might make the playoff again, whatever, but don't win it. And then I'm telling myself, at least if we get into the 12-team format, there's more opportunities for them to get beat, even with that soft schedule. They'll make it to the postseason, but it's tougher to make it after that all the way. I just can't have them. If they win a title, I'm going to lose it. That might be it.
But I mean, I don't want to turn this into a Michigan show. But who's the coach? I don't even remember his name because he was so irrelevant. Michigan doesn't win national championships. Michigan always cares about the Big Ten title and going to the Rose Bowl and getting their ass beat by USC. So their schedule is weak. They'll be soft. They roll into Ohio State and they pull something out there, but then they go and play at TCU and they get embarrassed. Because they're soft. They're not, but we'll see. I mean, he may, and he's still coaching his team up. He's still making his team better to beat Ohio State. But I really worry about when these recruits he has committed roll into town and see what they turn that program into. He may just make a monster out of it.
All right, I'm done talking about Michigan.
Agree.
It's just going to make me mad.
Ugh.
We got a couple phone calls. Hang in there, callers. I want to address one more thing with Pat and then get to some of these calls. Pat, Notre Dame recruiting right now is really, really interesting. It's very, very interesting. They're currently sitting at number 3 for 2024 on the 247 rival composite. Number 3. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that being number 3, but obviously it's early in the cycle. They're sitting at number 3, but every day I get emails and direct messages and calls of people saying, I'm starting to get nervous about Freeman's recruiting. And the angle is, it looks like he doesn't think he's going to land them top high-end, big ticket item prizes. And we're starting to get more into the RKG 3-star territory of guys. Okay. Sevillano yesterday, you get a 315-pound defensive lineman that commits, and then all I hear is he's a 3-star guy. Why is Freeman doing this? He must know he can't get the big guys. Now we're in trouble. And so it's a little bit interesting to me. You're sitting there at 3rd in the rankings, which is really solid. But you're looking at, more than a handful of 3-stars. Where is your comfort level at with all this? Do you trust what they're trying to do? Or do you think that Freeman learned his lesson last year? I went big prize hunting, struck out, and I got to be more conservative this cycle. Where do you fall on this? I get these messages all day.
Where do I fall? Let him cook. No, I don't. He's what, 3 or 4, right? You just said it, right? Yeah, he's 3 or 4. So what are we freaking out about? So we got some 3-stars. So Alabama's got 3 stars. LSU has 3 stars. USC has 3 stars. You got to get 3 stars. You got to fill out your class. So I'm not freaking out about he gets a couple 3 stars. He is going after the big dogs. He's not. Did he strike out? Are you looking around now, John? Where's that snake? Where's the anaconda?
Pat, I have not seen that snake since I blocked off on the other side of where this office is.
Well done, Cody.
It's the sump pump room. There's like a door and then the opening and the pipes. Dude, I got 2x4s blocking. So even if that thing comes down the deck through that tube, it's stuck in that little closet. I'm not letting that snake come out here during this show.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the...
I almost forgot about that snake till he brought it up. Now I'm starting to look.
So again, so when we go back to the star rating system, nobody argues that you want kids to commit to your class that have 5 stars. Nobody argues that. That's yes, you need that. You need that top tier talent. And like the guy, somebody said in there that Alabama signed 9 5-stars or whatever it was. Yeah, that's the epitome. Like that's. But you know what? He's still signed almost like 30 kids, probably 27 kids. So he's going to have, he didn't get 27 5-stars. He got 4 stars and 3 stars. So a couple 3 stars are okay. It's not the end of the world. Will Fuller was a 3-star player, and look at what he turned into. Joe Alt was a 3-star, wasn't he? I don't even think he was a 4-star. He's the best left tackle in the entire country. He may very well be the 1st-round pick in the NFL draft. That's how damn good he is. So yeah, I'll take a 3-star if the talent evaluation is there and you find a diamond in the rough. Exactly. Benjamin Morrison, a 3-star, the best player on your entire defense.
But now,
so yeah, I'll take 3 stars.
But Pat,
as long as they're that good.
But wait, I mean, a part of this is we set ourselves up for this, and I admit I am a part of it. I was encouraged when Freeman got hired and the way he recruited and his messaging and how modern he is with everything. I was thinking you're going to be a lot more. You're going to be your bulk of recruiting is going to be 4 stars, and you're going to have a couple of them cherries on top end guys, and then a couple 3 stars.
And you know what it was? You look back at last year's class. What was it? It was the bulk of that class was 4 stars. There were some 3 stars. What did he miss? The cherries on top.
Yeah.
And he went in hard on 3 guys to be the cherries, and that's what he missed.
Yep.
So no, I am not worried about the recruiting right now. Last year, I'm not gonna say it was an anomaly, but last year he had some hard lessons to learn. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. Something has changed. Or I'm hoping
But Pat, look at this. Sid Irish says we hired Freeman for
Don't
recruiting.
disagree.
Where is it? Well, he's ranked third right now. I can't really be mad at that.
Exactly. And I'm not gonna be mad at that. But what is
all right? But what if? All right, wait.
What does
you're
being
not
ranked
be
third
mad
actually
at that.
mean? What
But
does being ranked third actually? Go ahead.
Third now, but it turns into 17th on signing day is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody learned that because this time last year, Notre Dame was number one. And I was walking around town all summer, feeling like a big stroker because Notre Dame was number one in recruiting. And then when it mattered on signing day, I had to keep scrolling to find our name. So it isn't about the 3 now. It's about where's it going to be on signing day night.
I agree.
Because it just can't always be landing in Kelly's zone. My point. We hired him to get that recruiting above Kelly's zone.
My point is it's not about ranked third. It's not about the 3 stars you get committing now. That's not what it's about. It's not about the 3 stars you get committing now. It's about the cherries that commit on signing day. That's what it's about. And that's the lesson that Freeman learned last year, hopefully. Yep. And that's the initiative Brady Quinn just kicked off in a big way. Okay. I think they took those lessons.
Wait. Freeman could have learned that lesson, but I don't think Freeman was the reason he didn't land those guys. I don't know what else Marcus Freeman in his power could have done to have a better shot to land those guys.
But that's what I'm talking about. Then that's the Brady Quinn effect here. That's the Notre Dame's past, present, and future of Brady Quinn, right? Didn't you write that article? I don't know if I agree that Brady Quinn would be the athletic director of Notre Dame. I did enjoy his responding to or retweeting your article, though. That probably got you some hits.
It did. I like that very much. And you know what else?
Shep had to like it too, I bet.
I like that Brady likes me, and I wish I had his hair. All right? That's the other thing. That man's hair is so amazing. I'm jealous.
I wish I had a lot of things Brady has. But the point, though, is that I think that lesson learned. I don't know about Keeley. I do not know what happened with Keeley, but it's very clear Bowen and the quarterback were a result of NIL.
Yeah,
and I think that's why Brady Quinn is coming into play, and he's doing what he's doing. That lesson was learned, and everyone's I conjecture again. But everyone talks about the administration isn't giving the head coach to do what he needs to do, regardless of, building stadiums or practice facilities for the last head coach. They're giving NIL to Marcus Freeman through this. And what is Notre Dame ranked in NIL for their players? Like 8th or 9th?
It's in the top 10, which is surprising because you don't hear a lot of players. You don't hear a lot about it.
Everyone bitches about Notre Dame needing to pay their players. They're paying their players.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, Domer Guy 88 asks, how do you get those cherries? If it comes down to bags, then how are we ever going to get them then? Like, I don't understand unless you have like the perfect parents and they have money and money's not a big deal and they're telling the kid, don't go for that. But that's rare. I don't know what else Freeman could do other than the way he recruited. He had those guys interested. They had the grades and everything. They were really interested, and you don't land them. If we're not playing by the same rules, how are we ever going to get over that hump? My question.
Your assumption there is that there's the NIL bags of money, and then the actual bag of money on the back porch bag of money.
Yeah, paid for play bag of money.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you get over that. If that's what people want,
I don't know.
When they're 18, it sounds good.
That seems to be what Nick Saban's bitching about right now. And maybe there's something to come about that. And Nick Saban bitching about paying players seems funny to me.
He's Pat. he's mad. He's not mad about people paying players. He's mad that everybody else could do it now, and it's not just him. That's the problem. He used to have the monopoly on that
I'm not
game.
gonna accuse Saban of cheating. There's never been, outside of the players who admitted to it, anybody who
look into Bear Bryant Jr.'s banking network that he runs down there, and you might find some money filtering in and out there. It's a huge system that everybody knows, and they're all on board. Everybody's on board forever. Now Saban's mad. Everybody else could get in that same game. He went out the other day and said, yeah, these players should unionize and all. I think they should do that. And people were going, that doesn't seem like something Saban would say. You know why he's saying it? Because he knows he's retiring soon. He ain't going to have to deal with that.
Yeah. Did you know he hired? Oh, I can't even get this out.
What?
I was going to say, he hired Tommy Reese to replace him.
Come on, dude. That's
ridiculous. I couldn't even get it out. I started laughing as I said it.
That's wild. But I'm serious, Pat. I think he's starting to play nice with all this stuff because he knows he's on the way out, and it isn't going to affect him if they unionize. Yeah. And he doesn't have the unilateral king power he's had all this
whatever
time.
Whatever happened to the Northwestern unions? I think they must have lost that because nothing ever came of it.
Yeah, and I remember that was when I was living in Evanston, and all the news stations would be there when that union thing happened, and I thought, what happened here? Did somebody die or what? There's never any media here. And then that's what it was, but I don't know, man.
Leave it to Northwestern.
So you don't have any anxiety about that? Because I kind of do, Pat, and the anxiety is I thought we were nailing a home run last year, and in the 11th hour, it was a gut punch.
Well,
and it was an absolute momentum killer. It was an absolute kick to the gut of the number one thing we all wanted Freeman to bring here was that recruiting energy to get those guys Kelly couldn't land. It wouldn't work hard enough to get.
We'll see. Obviously, we're judging this class without seeing what this class looks like. But when what's the one thing you always talk about is that blue chip rating. Yeah. And this is the highest blue chip rating Notre Dame has seen, higher than anything that Kelly has ever produced. And when you look at that, like, okay, yeah, it was ranked 12. Well, that's what Kelly's average was. I went back and I ran every 247 composite for Kelly was 12. That's where he fell. He could have got up to 9. He may have fell back to 16, but he broke in the middle at 12. So Freeman hit Kelly's mark in the first year of recruiting. But the actual raw talent he brought in was better than anything Kelly has ever brought in. And the class was deeper than anything Kelly's ever brought in. So I do think it's better. It's a better school. There are less projects in this class and more kids that could probably step onto the field as sophomores and be productive. Freshmen, some, sophomores, most. So it's definitely an improvement. It's the recruiting. I would say the recruiting was better. The reason everybody feels like the recruiting is a slide was not as good is because Keeley left. Well, was first because Moore. Everyone talked about Moore. He's a soft verbal. He's going to come to Notre Dame. Yep. We got him. He's a soft verbal. He's waiting a little bit, and then he commits to Oregon. All right, so now Moore's out. It's like, oh God, what happened? And then Keeley drops about a month before signing, and then you lose Bowen on signing day. So although the actual class he signed, as far as just pure talent, was better than anything Brian Kelly ever put together in his 12 years at Notre Dame, you felt like it was going downhill because the 3 guys you wanted and needed the most didn't come to Notre Dame.
Yep. And those would have been
that's
3.
That's what puts it on the slide.
Those would have been 3 guys playing right away too. But,
if you never think of it this way, if those 3 guys were never in the picture and not to continue hitting on Kelly, but because Kelly probably would have never gone after those 3 guys. If they were never in the picture and you signed this class and you never talk about those 3 guys, Notre Dame people would be doing handstands about the talent that was actually brought in on this class.
Yeah. And now here's the next part of that. The next part of that is it isn't just that those stars and what you're bringing in, but we also want to see what the development's like once those guys get in there. Like, I'm hoping for a different developmental arc with some of these guys, or maybe the ones that you do consider more projects or developmental. Like, I also want to see what that part's like and if it's any different than Kelly. And so I don't know, man, but like, people are just hesitant because we were number one for a long time and then dropped like a rock. So now when people see number 3, they're not letting themselves get excited because they saw what happened. And you know that we're eventually it's going to go down on signing day. Notre Dame's never moved up the chart on signing day.
Never.
So you got to get as high as you can before then, because when it's hat flip day, we're going down.
I remember watching the Army All-American game, the high school game, where the kids do the hats on the table at the football game. And I think it was Chris Watt. You remember Chris Watt? He was the big no, not Chris Watt. Chris Stewart. Who's the guy that went to law school after he left Notre Dame? The big gigantic offensive guard. He couldn't get on the field. He finally started playing his senior year. He commits to Notre Dame in that. I read like an article. I don't remember who wrote it. Like 3 or 4 days later, Notre Dame didn't even think they were in the picture, and the kid commits to Notre Dame. That was the state of recruiting then, and so like you get this. Notre Dame doesn't get that publicity in recruiting. Is my point behind that. And usually the only publicity they get in recruiting is the kid goes somewhere else. The kid Notre Dame really needs, the kid Notre Dame really wants goes somewhere else. Nobody talks about the kids that Notre Dame is getting, and you can actually go and do. I've started this research. I haven't finished it yet, but you can go and look at kids once they commit to Notre Dame on 247 and Rivals and on 3. All 3 of these services do it. Notre Dame slides down once that kid commits to Notre Dame. They slide down the rankings. I've seen the one kid that jumped was Bowen, but Bowen didn't jump until word got out that he was wavering on his commitment to Notre Dame.
Man,
and he jumped all the way up to like the 3rd best recruit.
And it happened to Brennan Vernon. That happened to. He was like a top 10 player in the country, committed to Notre Dame. The guy dropped out of the top 100.
Keelan Keeley, if you remember, if you go back to Keelan Keeley's recruitment, he wasn't a top 100 player when he first committed to Notre Dame. He wasn't. And then all of a sudden, Alabama takes an interest in him, and he skyrockets. He skyrockets up the board. So the recruiting services, they get a lot of stuff right. I'm not discrediting them. 5 stars, 5 stars for a reason. But the reality of it is a lot of these services have a bias. The like 247 has a serious bias against Notre Dame. I think just the stuff I read, the stuff I researched, there's always a lot of negativity that comes out of 247 towards Notre Dame.
But what would benefit how does it benefit their business model with such a rabid fan base to be dropping their guys? Shouldn't they want to pump them up more and have us all wanting to read everything they're saying? What did they get out of dropping our guys?
I don't know. Probably because of Notre Dame being independent and trying to do it their own way. I don't know.
I mean, man, come on, man. I mean, get over it. All right, Pat, what do you want to do? Bring up a couple calls here. We got some people.
Yeah, are you gonna do the rundown? I mean, you're way behind on the chat. I've been trying to keep up. I got a lot of people I got to fight with.
No, we're an hour in. I'm already done. There's no rundown. We're an hour in. I hit the super chats, but we're an hour in. That ain't gonna happen.
All right, cool.
That ain't gonna happen. All right, let's take a couple calls. 574, you're on the air. What's going on a Saturday night?
How's it going, guys?
It's going very well. What's on your mind in Notre Dame land here in the dog days of summer?
Man, it's kind of upsetting that, I mean, it's good that the 2024 class is top 3. But like you said, on signing day, it'll probably go up again.
You mean go down again?
Or go down, excuse me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's sitting at number 3 right now. I feel like you can't really complain about that. You just hope they land on some of these remaining targets that are solid guys. Like, I don't know, but I admit, man, I have scar tissue from what happened last year. I thought we were sitting pretty. Freeman was landing these big dogs, play right away guys, and it just didn't work out. And I think people have some anxiety about that. Do you think that's fair, or are we making too big of a deal of it?
It kind of gives you a little bit of anxiety, but I think that Freeman will be able to land, the top guys as long as he keeps on putting in the effort.
Yeah, and I don't think effort's ever going to be the issue with him, and I respect that. I really don't think that's going to be the issue. Do you have an opinion on the conference stuff we were talking about? What do you think Notre Dame might do? Do you think that AAU affiliation is an indicator of things to come, or what?
Yeah, I honestly think that we're getting closer to joining the Big Ten. As much as I want to stay independent, you guys could call me a homer, but
we all want to stay independent too.
I want to stay independent.
Well, we want to stay independent too, but I only want to stay independent if we can win that way. Like, I want to stay independent too. That's my number one choice. Hi, Lauren. I love you and I miss you. Good to see you. I want to stay independent too, but only if it's viable. That's the issue. None of us want to give up independence, but if it's the only way we're going to be able to financially keep up or whatever, then you don't have a choice.
Right. I mean, if it's going to help us, you really don't have a choice, but I don't want to sound like I said, people can call me a homer. I am. I totally am, because I want to stay independent. I do not want to.
But that doesn't make you a homer. I don't think that makes you a homer. It just makes you a Notre Dame fan. I think all of us want to do it our way, but only if you can win it. Only if you can win doing it that way. And only if the money's right. Pat, nice job. I know what you're doing. I see it. Good job. Right on the dividing line, baby.
She's not very smooth.
Dividing line. I see ya. I know what you're doing.
It's hot
right on the line.
I gotta turn the air down.
Family friendly, baby. Appreciate that. Oh man. So I don't know about that. What else is on your mind, my friend? Anything else?
Yeah. So this season, obviously, it's a do or die season for Marcus Freeman. All right.
In what way? Define that. Whoa. Okay. Do or die. You got to define what that means. In his year 2, you're saying do or die in what regard?
Well, in terms of, defeating, USC, defeating, just having a better season all around. Because I want this team to go at least 11-1, 10-2 around there.
Now, what if they don't? What if they don't? That's more interesting. If it goes well, then that's fantastic and we're all happy. You said do or die. What if it isn't that? What if it's 9-3? Marginally better than last year, but still a number none of us are happy with. Then what? You said do or die. What's the die? If they go 9-3, then what? I don't think there's real heat on Freeman yet, even if that happens. What do you think?
Well, I didn't mean to really quite say that, but I've heard people say that, other people say that, but I didn't mean to really say that. But what I mean is that if he has another bad season or worse, it's not going to be a good look for him. So I think
man, you went from do or die to if it's bad, it's not a good look. Those are very, very different things.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, John? Do or die is dramatic.
So it's definitely not do or die. A setback. So a less than 8-win season will hurt Notre Dame for sure. It will hurt. I shouldn't say Notre Dame. It will hurt Freeman for sure. But he's already proved he's not Tyrone Willingham. And that's kind of like my bar of Notre Dame coaches. if you're going to be god awful and we have to get rid of you after 3 years, or if you're going to get the 5 years you deserve. And the reason Tyrone Willingham was god awful is because he quite literally never recruited a single player while he was at Notre Dame. He played more golf than Brian Kelly ever wished he could play. Brian Kelly at least had some responsibility, so he didn't just play golf all the time. But that's why Tyrone Willingham was so terrible. So it's not, and Freeman, I don't know if Freeman's ever held a golf club in his life, because that dude recruits his ass off. He works harder than anybody in college football.
Yeah.
So it's not do or die after year 2 for Marcus Freeman. But I do think there's more pressure on Marcus Freeman as a head coach going into year 2 than probably any other Notre Dame coach before him. And that was because of the standard set by Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I agree with that. It would be a rough look, but it's not do or die yet. He's not on the hot seat if he goes 9-3 next year. It isn't like that. It's just we're not going to be happy, and it's going to stir up a lot of questions.
Well, I didn't mean to say that. Okay.
Well, I can only go off what you said. Like, dude, I can only respond to what you said. I'm not trying to nail you on it, but I don't know what's in your mind. I can only go off what you did say.
What I'm saying is that, like, I just don't really want him to have another bad season. Doesn't mean he's going to be in the hot seat.
Yeah.
But could you at least give a guy at least like 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, let him get a full recruiting cycle. Let him get a few recruiting cycles in there, develop his own guy. I'd like to see him get one of his own quarterbacks in there, a young guy, see how that develops. I'd like to see all that.
Yes, I really think that people just need to let him,
cook.
See how it plays out.
Yep, let him cook.
I'm not ready to say 100%. Right now, but because I don't really know, it's not really guaranteed if he's going to be successful, but I sure do hope so. He's got the personality.
Yep. I agree with you. Thanks for the call, my friend. You're here all the time, and I appreciate it. Have a good weekend, all right?
All right, you too.
Take care, buddy.
Go Irish.
Go Irish. Pat, I got somebody knocking at my door upstairs, and I have no idea what's going on. The dogs are going nuts. I'm going to give you a call. You could take it, and I'll go deal with whatever that is.
Let's do it.
I'm going to pull up 937, and then I got 219-818-707 coming after that, a 708 as well. There you go, Pat. This one's yours. It's an Ohio State guy. Have fun.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
man.
Yeah. Have fun.
Ohio State fan.
No, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Hey, it's not a coincidence. I bring up the Ohio State guy and then I ditch the show. You can talk to Pat. You guys talk about it, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, Pat, my question is, are you going to be at the Ohio State Notre Dame game?
No,
Hello, Pat.
I have a, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you now.
Okay. Sorry. I have a awful track record of going to big time Notre Dame games. I remember there was a game they played. Any game at home, they probably lost if it was a big game. I went to Clemson in the Hurricane. I went to Florida State in the Everett Golson pick play. I was at the Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State. I was in Texas in the Brian Van Gorder massacre. I was at USC in 2006. So if Notre Dame is playing a big game, Pat's only allowed at spring games. That's the only way they win. So I will not be at that game.
It's going to be a great one, I think, for both teams, and I'm really excited for it. And I wanted to congratulate you. I know John ran upstairs, but I'm becoming AAU members. I know now.
I know. Here we go.
Now you guys are lined up to get a lot of money for the research, and I know we're all Catholics here, right? I'm a Catholic Buckeye. Ohio State. You might not know this, but Ohio State is the largest Catholic university in the country, just because of the sheer amount of percentages of Catholics that go there.
Yeah. No, I got you.
The size of the school.
I mean, there's like 65,000 kids at Ohio State, something like that. My brother's nephew, so his wife's nephew, went to Ohio State. He said it's a pretty large school.
Yeah. So, but where I'm going with this is I know we're all Catholics here, right? So I saw that the official Notre Dame Twitter put out a nice rainbow over Our Lady, which is kind of sad unless they were referring to the pot of gold that they're going to get now and becoming AAU members and also from Big Ten members.
Just for the interest of the program, we'll say it's the pot of gold. Now the AAU stuff is very interesting, and I said it before. You know, I don't know if you remember when I called in when I was in French Lick at the start of the show a couple weeks ago. I said that I mentioned AAU, that academic association, and I said it in that show. I said if Notre Dame joins that, that's when Notre Dame fans should be worried. And so then when I saw that article, I was like, damn, here we go. This is it. We're going to start to hear it. Now, it could just be we are going to we're joining that because Notre Dame is an elite research institution, which it absolutely is. But at the same time, we got Notre Dame fans have to pay attention to it because to me, that's a big sign that Notre Dame's on a Big Ten path.
We've been an elite research institution for a long time, though. That's why it's like, why now?
Right.
It's
why
like,
now? Why now?
Yeah, why now?
What also is interesting is, you know, they only do like 2 or 3 schools every decade, or lately in the recent years, and to put Miami also in, and they were outside the top 10 of possibly getting in. People didn't think they would get in this round, and some other schools that got in, but you know, it could be convicts and Catholics coming in at the same time. That would be wild. That would be really wild.
Yeah, no, that would be funny. I do like that. The Catholics and convicts joining together, coming into it's just, it freaks me out, man. I like my independence. I don't want to have to admit it's harder to do it our way and whatever, but it would be a good fit. And it'd be very interesting. The main question I have for you is, are you guys, are you going to rise up against Michigan? Or are you going to let Harbaugh steamroll you for a 3rd year? It's not going to make any of us happy, man. I'm not saying that to rip you. It isn't going to make me happy either. I'd rather you guys win than them. I'm not against you on this. The hell's going on? Get it together.
I heard one stat and it just pissed me off, and it was this. The SEC, only like 12 of only 2 of their 14 or so members are playing 10 Power 5 teams. The rest are playing 9 or less. And in the Big Ten, 13 of the 14 teams are playing at least 10 Power 5 teams. The only team that isn't is Michigan. Those son of a guns are, you know, they're so healthy at the end of the year, and it's hurt us the last couple of years that they have been the scheduling that they've done, and also skipping out in that game in 2020 completely flipped this whole thing.
Yeah,
and
that was weak.
That's
Dude,
the crime.
That was a weak move because you knew they were in trouble. They were leaking oil and they got out of it because of everything going on. That was a very, very weak move. And they were able to kind of cover it in what was going on in the world and get away with it. I didn't like that either.
And that completely flipped the rivalry too, because everybody on Ohio State's team the next year that were relevant starters had never played in that game. And it changed everything on the momentum.
Yeah, but you guys got to stop. You guys got to put an end to this. And 2 is long enough. Yep. And I'm looking at it the way I would if Freeman lost to USC again, and then he's down 0-2 against USC. I'm looking at it like that. You just can't live that way. You guys aren't going to be happy. It's going to be an issue, man. It's going to be an issue. It's just, and they just don't play anybody. They're not going to be sufficiently challenged. Like, they're really going to have to no-show to drop any game before November 11th, I believe it is, against Penn State. So I don't know, but you guys better figure something out. Or I wonder what's in Ryan Day's head. I wonder if Ryan Day's thinking these people, nothing's good enough for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is a question. The other thought about Michigan is the idea that Ohio State. Geez, I lost my train of thought. Ohio State and shoot, I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought there. I had a good point and I lost it. Really quick, let me get to the recruiting.
Okay.
I just want to say with Notre Dame and Ohio State. So last year, Ohio State and Notre Dame were the big losers, so to speak, as far as the narrative. And Ohio State fell to 5th in the recruiting, but they only had 20 players, and falling to 5th, and everybody else above them had significantly more players. So the key to remaining high is the average player ranking. And we've talked about this before, but to compete with the big guys in these big games, you got to have, I think, at the end of the day, you got to start averaging about a 93 on a player ranking, and then fill in, even if it's a low amount of players, then with today, you can fill it in with good transfer portal people. And that's what Michigan, that's how they've risen, is due to transfer portal. If you look at their recruiting rankings, they've been pretty terrible.
Yep. Yeah.
Until this year.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's what I think. And
hey,
like right now, I think
do you think
like 90.
Do you think some of that is maybe they're not as worried Harbaugh's ditching and go into the NFL, so more guys are open to Michigan? Like, I'm just trying to come up with and then you add in the fact that they have the 2 feathers in their cap of the last 2 matchups with you guys, and then maybe the fear is subsided that you would commit to Harbaugh and that weirdo that you would commit to him for some reason, and then he's going to leave. I don't know, man, but it makes me uncomfortable because I am, through my hatred, I can be realistic enough to announce they are on the rise, and I very much don't like it.
Oh yeah, they are doing a lot better this year.
Yeah,
I think there's 2 things: beating Ohio State twice in a row, getting in the playoffs twice in a row, but then also they lose a lot of players this year, so there's going to be a lot of open positions next year.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Yeah.
So they're probably telling, these better than normal players that they've been recruiting, hey, you're going to get a real shot to get on the field. I think that's helping them this year. And then also the Harbaugh thing is helping them a little bit with him not fooling around with the NFL as much as he did the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's a little combination of everything. But also too, like their average player ranking is only like a 91.5 or somewhere in there. Unless they do get some big guns, they won't be in the top 5 by the end of the season. So if you look at the projector, like if you project at where you're at now, as far as like per player ranking, like if you have like a 91, I think we went over this last time, but it's like, I think Notre Dame had like a 91.7 with 23 players last year, and they're right now at like a 90.5. And let's say they get that they get about the same amount of players in that projection, then you're looking at probably like 15, 16 as far as a ranking at the end of the year. But the whole crapshoot about this is there's a couple of things with 247. They way overrank the Alabama recruits as far as in the state of Alabama. If you look at NFL, just look at the NFL. Ohio produces way more talent that goes to the NFL than Alabama does, the state of Alabama. But for some reason, they had, I think like last year in 2022, they had like 10 players in the top 100 out of the state of Alabama. Like that just doesn't make any sense. It's unlike Georgia, which has a significant population. Alabama's population is not there to produce that type of talent.
Yeah, it's interesting how those all go and who rises and who falls and all that. It's really interesting. So I don't know, man, but I want Freeman to recruit his ass off and get some good results. I want you guys to get it together, beat Michigan. That's what I need to happen. And I don't know, man. Anything else? I got a bunch of calls here, and I got a hard stop at 10 o'clock tonight. I want to try and bang through.
Yep, I'll let you get to it. And just congratulations on the AAU, and talk to you soon.
No, what do you congratulations? I don't even know what that means. Like, it's like I won something that we're in the AAU. You're just angling, buddy. You want that Big Ten whole brand to raise its profile with us. Don't butter me up.
Oh yeah,
Don't butter me up. I know how you're doing. Don't do it. All right, have a good
John.
weekend. Yeah.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right. What are you saying, Pat?
So I was talking to this guy once, and he was talking about AAU and how great it is, and how every school needs, no school that's not in the AAU is, if a school's not in the AAU, they're nothing special. I was like, really? Because I've hired quite a few people to employment throughout my career, and I have never once seen AAU institution written on a resume. So this whole AAU thing, this is nothing like congratulations AAU. That's just a troll comment. This is all about research. It's all about doing research at a university. It's all about sharing that research and doing that research. It means truly nothing else for the academics. Notre Dame's academics didn't go up. I mean, Notre Dame is not an Ivy League school. It's not at that level, but it's pretty much like a tier below an Ivy League school. It's going to be, it's a Notre Dame, it's a Northwestern, it's a Vanderbilt, it's a Duke, it's a Stanford. All those schools, they're AAU or not, they're still top tier schools. I mean, Illinois is an AAU school. Come on.
Yeah. It's just what it represents is the interesting part here. All right, I'm going to go back to the phone lines. We got a guy here I know, Pat, enjoys my program and is also a regular at Mitch's shop, Forever Young Sports Cards. And he's one of the guys who kind of made the connection between us. Let's see what he thinks about the event. If I could hit the right button. Pete, what's up?
John, how are you?
I'm doing very well, my friend. I'm excited about the event with Mitch. I'm sure you heard us talking about it. It should be outstanding. And I know getting autographs from all the historical Notre Dame figures, that's something that you're into. It's a personal hobby of yours. How excited are you for this event?
I'm very excited. And I can tell you, being that I've been to many of a good amount of Mitch's signings for Notre Dame players, and Mitch does a great job. The fans will be very happy.
Yeah,
be there, and
it's a very professional operation. I was impressed when I went through there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good group there. I think a lot of our people from the tailgate, from the Blue and Gold game tailgate, will probably end up over there. A lot of people that live in that area. So I think we're going to have a good group there. But what else is on your mind, Pete?
Well, something that you were talking about during this past week when I was chatting with you is on the Sunday before Labor Day, as much as you're not a fan of Florida State, you will be that night, and you might even be, you said maybe even doing the Indian rain dance or pounding the drums or putting a spear in the front yard or something.
Listen, when it comes to Brian Kelly and LSU playing Florida State opening weekend, Pat, I told Pete earlier this week, I said, I never could believe I'm in a position where I'm going to be on the couch going, oh, like an idiot, but I don't want Kelly to win. I'm going to be, Pat, I'm doing a rain dance. I got a flaming spear in my yard. I'm going to spike that spear. I'm doing all of it. I'm renting a horse to ride around the neighborhood. I'm painting my face. I'm going to ride around town. All of it. I want Kelly to go now night one.
That's a drum set, John.
That's all I got. I'm just giving it to you. But the Pete and Pat, PP, you guys, listen. It's really messed up in the world where I'm in a position that I have to root for Florida State with all of my genuine heart, but that's what I'm going to do, damn it. I am seriously lighting spears and throwing them around the neighborhood. Go Noles.
I don't know. I'm not.
You have a drum set, John?
I'm going to get one. I'm going to do a rain dance. I'm going to have a seance. I'm going to smoke a peace pipe in the basement. I'm doing all of it. I want Kelly to go down. Pat, what are you telling me? You want him to beat Florida State?
No, I just don't care enough. Like, I'm just so done with Brian Kelly. I don't care. If I like last year, I watched because I did want him to lose. I took great pleasure in him losing. But now I'm just over it. Now I just want Marcus Freeman to win, and I want Marcus Freeman to play that Jag off in a bowl game or a playoff game and kick his ass. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yep. We've talked about that. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity for Notre Dame and LSU to meet in that expanded playoff. Could you guys imagine Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman facing off against LSU and Brian Kelly? It would be the buildup for that would be absolutely unbelievable. But Pat, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah, I want Marcus to win and I want us to have our stuff together, but I could also still want that guy to lose.
You know Notre Dame, when Notre Dame coaches leave or they get terminated or they whatever. I mean, I guess the last 50 years they've only been fired. Notre Dame has a history of trying to schedule games with those coaches. I wonder if Jack's trying to schedule LSU.
Oh man, that'd be so interesting.
That would be
would
be brilliant, to be honest. A home and home with LSU. That would be brilliant.
Man, could you imagine?
Like, they did it with Davey. They did it with Willingham.
Of that.
The only guy they never did it with was Lou Holtz. That's the only guy.
Yeah, nope. It'd be wild. Hey Pete, let me ask you this: what do you make of Notre Dame's recruiting? Are you pretty comfortable with where it's at, or are you getting a little anxiety? Like, Freeman's scared he isn't going to be able to land the top prize, so he's being a little more conservative? Or are we overdoing this because that's just how it goes in the summer when everybody's worried about everything? Where do you fall on that?
I'm kind of up and down. I mean, first, he's still going after and getting some guys that Kelly would never even go after.
That's a good point, and that is true. Yep.
I mean, well, thankfully, I mean, because we have Chancey Stuckey here. I mean, we've gotten more in Texas since Freeman's been here than I think in the last 5 years of Kelly.
Yeah, and the effort's always there, and the effort is unquestionable. You can't doubt the effort, and I respect the hell out of it.
Freeman is everywhere. It's not if we don't get it, like you said before on your shows, you can sleep well knowing that he's at least trying.
Yeah, that's not going to be the reason why. Pete, what do you want to see Notre Dame do with NIL? There's a fine line there. I want them to be more involved at a bigger level, but I don't want to cross any lines or do anything pay for play or make the degree worth less. Like, what do you want to see happen there? You think they're on track for this? Let Brady Quinn maybe modernize some things, find some new opportunities, or what do you want to see happen?
I certainly hope so. And I mean, like you were saying in your conversation earlier, and it may have been on when you were on with Mitch, is that maybe something by you putting your talents along with Mitch's talents together, it could help the process too.
Hey man, if that could be the reality, it would mean the world to me. Like, if I could help any of this at all, any bit, it would make me feel like this is all bigger than it ever was going to be. Like, the fact that I could actually help or drive extra people there to get our guys a little dough and raise their brand. That's what this is all about. So I'm hoping I could help with that, even if it's a little bit.
Oh, I mean, I got to say, it was great having lunch with you and Mitch this past week too.
Man, it was great. I was impressed with his shop. I was impressed. I wanted to get in there and see all this and look at the layout. I was really impressed. He's got a good operation.
And no doubt you will do well in playing to the crowd that day too.
I don't know, Pete. I'm kind of shy. I got to come out of my shell. I'm pretty shy, Pete. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, John, real quick. Let me jump in.
Maybe I'll have to...
Sorry, Pete. I don't mean to interrupt.
Sure, Brian Kelly, maybe that would get you a little bit worked up to wake you up in case you were a little sleepy.
Yeah. What's up, Pat? What do you got, Pat?
T-Rex just dropped an excellent question. I want you to put it on screen and answer.
All right. Got it. Yeah, I see that.
All right. Sorry, Pete. Pete, tell me what the shop's like.
I hate this question. This is the worst question that's ever been asked on this show. And the sad part is, looking at both of those teams, it's not the most far-fetched thing either.
And I can't answer it.
I can't answer that either. Pete,
Can't
do you
answer.
see that? It says Michigan versus LSU for the national title. Who are you rooting for? I am rooting that I die before the game starts.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
As hard as I would have to say, John, neither answer is a good answer, like you said, but I would at least rather root for Kelly.
Oh man, I mean
I
that is
can't do it. I can't do it.
This is the T-Rex for a dinosaur. You asked the best question that's ever been asked on this show.
That's the best. That's
so
the best.
good of a question. None of us even want to address it. I hate this question.
The interesting, and John, let me do this. Let's say it's USC versus LSU. I can answer that.
What's your answer then?
USC.
Yeah, me too.
I will cheer for USC
Me too.
to beat Brian Kelly.
I think
I don't know. I can't do it for Michigan. I can't do it.
It's a different brand of hatred.
It's a different brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe I hate USC more than I hate Michigan, but
Man.
I can't do it.
That is the best question I've ever had asked on this because there's no good answer. Like a meteor strike in the stadium is the best answer. There's no answer to that.
T-Rex, that is the question of the ever.
Yeah, no, that is an unbelievable question. I don't even want to address.
Sid Irish just put it the best way. I respect USC. I loathe Michigan. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
As much as I hate USC, I respect them. I love Michigan.
Yeah, I know. The Michigan thing's tough. So I don't know, Pete. We're going to have a good time at the autograph signing. I know that. Anything else on your mind, my friend?
Yeah. Well, first, if we were to face Kelly in a big game, you probably wouldn't sleep that whole week.
I would be an absolute wreck. I would be so wound up and worked up over it. And I would start turning it personal and all that. It would be probably unhealthy for me mentally, but it would be great content because it would just be so amplified just because of everything involved. It would be intense. It'd be intense.
Would your hairline come back if we won that game?
I don't think it works that way. The hairline only works one way, and it's when it falls out when Kelly's here. I don't think it's going to come back no matter what. I really don't. Pete, thanks.
You're probably right.
I know. Pete, thanks for giving me a call. I'm going to breeze through a few more so I could wrap up at 10 here. I got things I need to do. It was great seeing you this week. I really appreciate you being kind of a conduit between Mitch and I. You're friends of both of ours. You like both of our businesses. Thanks for being a part of that.
Thank you, John. Look forward to seeing you. And, of course, go Irish.
There you go. Have a good weekend, man. You take care.
You too.
Oh, man, what a good guy. He loves both of our businesses, knows us both, is involved with both. I really appreciate that. Pat, that is a terrific question. It's the best one that's ever been asked here.
It's, I'm a college football junkie. Like I have to watch college football unless I'm on the golf course or like I just have something going on where the wife's not letting me watch college football. I have to watch it. In the national championship, I have to watch it. The playoff, I have to watch bowl games. Bowl games, I'm going to watch it. I don't think I could watch that game. I do not think I could watch that game at all.
You're just not going to be happy no matter what.
Nope. No good football. That's not. I don't care how good that game is. It would not be good football to me.
That is it. Truly is brutal. We got a 708, Pat. That's from your old neck of the woods, isn't it? A 708. What do we got here? Welcome, 708.
Hello.
What's going on?
About 6 or 8 months ago, I called in and I said I thought Notre Dame should join the SEC. And I've changed course now. I'm all into the Big Ten. Originally, for a long time, I wanted the Big Ten, and then I thought joining the SEC would make more sense. But I'm all into the Big Ten, and I want you guys to pull up Notre Dame's schedule for next year and look at that and compare it to any other Big Ten schedule. It's rough, starting with Texas A&M. They've got Southern Cal, obviously. They have Miami. They have Florida State. Now, those two schools that I just mentioned are going to be powerhouses in the near future. Nobody plays 4 schools like that as far as I'm concerned. If Notre Dame were to join the Big Ten, they can have an easy schedule like what you were just saying about Michigan. The ultimate prize is on
January, whatever, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yeah.
That schedule for Notre Dame, with the talent they are bringing in, would put them in contention for the national championship more so than the schedule they currently play. That's my opinion.
So but what made you what made you change from wanting to have interest in the SEC and then the Big Ten?
I'll tell you exactly why. I just heard yesterday that Notre Dame's Ohio State game is sold out. And I know why it's sold out. Notre Dame sold all their tickets to Notre Dame alums, basically. So they let people that are in the Monogram Club have as many as 6 tickets, and they let the Soren Society buy up to 12 tickets. So they want Notre Dame people in that stadium. You would assume, let's put it this way, if you had 12 tickets to the game, you wouldn't be selling your tickets to Ohio State fans, would you? Because what happened with the Georgia thing is I can tell you right now, I've had access to tickets to Notre Dame games for like the last 30 years or so. They're actually out there. They're not hard to get. This is going to make it, if Notre Dame people hold on to their tickets and sell them to their friends and relatives, you won't see that sea of red that, maybe we were all expecting.
So are you
That's
saying
what I'm hoping for?
Go ahead, Pat.
Are you saying that Notre Dame has changed the selling of the ticket, the structure in which they sell the tickets for the Ohio State game versus all other games?
Can't quite hear him.
Oh, sorry. Are you saying that Notre Dame has changed their structure to which they sell tickets for the Ohio State game versus other games?
Yeah, I think they have changed them because of what's happened in the recent years with the Georgia game and even the Cincinnati game as recently as like 2 years ago.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That's an interesting way to kind of try and block that out. Yeah, I like that actually. I get it.
You'll remember this call because I remember telling you, John, that I said that if Notre Dame were to join the Big Ten, I was fearful that it would be overrun by opposing schools' fans. Now, if Notre Dame is going to continue to just directly sell their tickets to Notre Dame fans, there'd be no reason for Notre Dame fans to sell their tickets to opposing fans. If Notre Dame is good, Notre Dame fans will hold on to their tickets.
They will. Hey, that's what I was going to say is the number one factor in all of this is if Notre Dame's good or in contention for anything, you're not going to have a sea of the enemy. And that's why, by the way, while we're having this discussion, 708 in Pat's old neighborhood there, while we're having this discussion, that is why I say every week on my program, Notre Dame has to be 4-0 going into Ohio State. You cannot lose a game at all. If we lose one game before then, that's how you get to see a red because a bunch of Notre Dame people are going to go, nope, I ain't doing this. And they're going to flood it in the market and it's going to be all the red that buys it. Notre Dame must. They must be 4-0 heading into that game. Have to be.
It better be. They better be 4-0 and be ranked about number 4. That should be about number 3 versus number 4 right now.
Yeah, and I don't even care where they're ranked. If you're undefeated and then you beat Ohio State, you're going to get your due at that point. You just need to be undefeated. You can't have none of this. Oh, it's NC State and we're hot because the game's at noon and it's in the Carolinas. Bro, I'm sick of hearing that noon game's going to be too hard for Notre Dame because it's going to be hot. They're going to spend all of August burning up in the Indiana humidity and sun. 3 weeks later, it shouldn't be too hot for them to play at NC State at noon. Win those games. Win all the games. Come in at 4-0. We're all wearing green. The place is rocking. Beautiful weather. Beat Ohio State, and we get this baby trending up.
You're exactly right. If Notre Dame is 5-0 on the 24th of September, Notre Dame is going, and you know what? That'll feed into the recruiting aspect. So I've got 5 names. I wasn't on the show earlier. I probably joined about 45 minutes ago. These are names that you guys have probably all obviously talked about. There's 5 key recruits: Kingston Asa,
yep,
Kirby Lambert, Justin Scott, Beasley and rushing.
Isn't Gerby Lambert there now? Isn't Gerby there this weekend? I thought he's there. Yeah, I think he's on campus.
He's there. He's there. Those are the 5 must get. How many of those guys they get? I'll predict they get 3. 3 of those 5. I'm going to make a little prediction based on who's there currently. I don't expect Lambert to commit, but I will say that in the next 48 hours, Notre Dame will come away with 3 recruits, commits. They're going to get Styles Prescott, they'll get Kedron Young, and they'll get Menke. Those 3 guys will commit, which will put their number up to 20. And if they get 3 of those other 5, they're at 23. And at that point, Notre Dame can get real picky.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they can flip 2 or 3 guys. Like you said, go back to the Ohio State game. If Notre Dame is sitting there with 23 commits and they're as hot as hell,
yeah,
there's kids that are going to want to play for Marcus Freeman.
Yeah. All right. Now, it's obvious to me from what you've said, you look into the recruiting and you have an understanding of where we stand on all this at a little deeper level than most people. So then I'm going to ask you this. It was a gut punch to all of Notre Dame Nation. What happened to the top of that class last year? Those cherries on top we thought we were going to get, we didn't end up getting. I don't blame Marcus for that. I don't know anything else Marcus could have done. He had him interested. He had him committed or close to it, bought it, all that. How can Notre Dame land those cherries on top when they're not playing by the same rules as a lot of these other schools are? How can Marcus overcome that when he doesn't have everything available to him to offer that these other places do? How do we solve that? I lose an inch of air a week asking myself this dumb question. How do you do it?
Well, they'll have trouble getting the kids out of the South, I think, if they really want the money. That'll be difficult. But there's a lot of good kids in the Midwest. Looking at that 2025 class, like I say, I think Notre Dame will be at 20 recruits come Tuesday or Wednesday. There might be, you know what? They may be at 20 right now. These kids commit while they're on campus. I would be shocked. I'll put money out and say there's a commit tomorrow that goes public, another one on Monday or Tuesday, and another one by the time they get to next weekend before the next round of kids come in. So
that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. What do you say, Pat? I see you're looking like you're thinking.
I was gonna say there's kind of a good point being hit here that it's, and everyone's hitting in the chat. It's called winning, right? So you lost on Keelan Keeley. He is the biggest hurt from that recruiting class. You lost on Keelan Keeley. You got to get one of those guys, and winning is going to get one of those guys. Once you get that kid on Notre Dame's campus and playing football at Notre Dame, other kids are going to see it. They're going to come play football at Notre Dame, and it's going to improve the entire program. And it's going to be Lou Holtz-esque. We're getting Chris Young, or we're getting Bryant Young. We're getting Chris Zorich. We're getting those guys, Dana Stubblefields, that play defensive tackle at Notre Dame. Not, and it's going to be, you just got to get that kid. You got to win that. You got to win that one battle, and that kid's got to perform, and you're going to roll.
Well, I know you're saying I'm from 708. I don't know who's sitting there next to where he lives, but I know a lot of the recruits in the Chicago area. I know one in particular that I spoke to about a month ago. We talked about NIL. He's a committed senior wide receiver from the Chicago area going into his senior year. He's not concerned about NIL.
There you
not
go.
In the league.
So 708, where in the south suburbs?
Huh?
Yeah, where are you at? In
what
the
south
708?
suburb?
What verb?
Downers Grove.
Okay, I grew up by
Downers
Midway
Grove.
Airport. I went to St. Lawrence High School in Burbank. I am a Chicago Catholic League kid.
And
Not any more than me, buddy. Not any more than me.
And then what am I? What am I? A South suburb trash rat? My Bishop McNamara Southern South Catholic League?
Bishop,
I don't get no credit for being a South.
You want to call an hour south a South suburb? You go ahead and do that.
Pat, we were in the Catholic League. I had to play all you clowns and drive into your city traffic every week to play a dumb baseball game. In that Southside Catholic League. I got sick of sitting on the Dan Ryan in a bus every day to play your dumb ass.
They had some good football players there, but unfortunately, the program your coach retired, and program's in trouble.
Yeah.
Rich Zanini retired about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they got issues after that. They were going to hire a guy, and then that guy didn't work out. Now they do have big issues now. So I am not encouraged by that after Rich retired. They've had some issues. Anything else, my friend? What else is on your mind?
Okay, so I'm going to make 2 other predictions.
Beautiful. I love it. I love your boldness. I love your boldness. Let it rip, baby.
I'm going to make 2 more bold predictions. You'll also get a commitment from a 2025 defensive end from Nazareth Academy. And you're going to get a 2026 shocker from a kid who doesn't have an offer right now from St. Sebastian Academy out in Connecticut. His name is Dominic Funk. Kid's an absolute stud. He's there this weekend. If he gets an offer, he'll commit soon.
Wow. Look at you. You're going out a few years, man. I'm worried about not having a stroke between now and then, and you're talking about these guys committing. I'm impressed. Listen, man, I really appreciate you calling. I like that recruiting. You got some details here. You follow it all. I really appreciate it. Anything else on the way out? Let it go. Let it rip.
Yeah. One last note for all you guys that are so concerned. For all you guys that are so concerned about Justin Scott, he's really good, but he wasn't the defensive player in the conference. Just so you guys know, the defensive player in the year in the Catholic League Conference was Nate Marshall, somebody who just finished up his sophomore year at Fenwick High School, who has an offer from Notre Dame.
There we go. Another Catholic school kid in that Chicago League. Good old Fenwick.
You better believe it.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you.
Hey, man, thanks a lot for the call. And I like that Chicago Catholic League connection the 3 of us have. That's beautiful, man.
I love the chat is blowing up.
Do you know that there are 4 kids in the Catholic League right now in the current sophomore class, kids that are going to be juniors that have offers from Notre Dame?
Fantastic.
Nope. Yeah, fantastic. I'm not. I can't even
exactly what Notre Dame lost
about it that many years down the road. So no, I didn't know that.
It's going to be. There's 5 kids in the Chicago area that are going into their junior year. 4 of them that are in the Catholic League. The other kid is a wide receiver from Geneva High School named Taylon Taylor. He's awesome. So keep that in mind.
Hey,
Coach Freeman is going to go after Chicago kids from here on out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you track back Notre Dame recruiting to when they were actually winning, they were pulling kids out of the Catholic League of Chicago. That's where the talent came from.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
Pat,
how those teams won.
But Pat, the difference was back then those guys all wanted to go to Notre Dame, and they wanted. That's the difference, though. Notre Dame can pull them out of there.
Recruited. Think what they had. I think Notre Dame.
Changed a lot. It's changed a lot, guys.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame is
a lot. Your St. Lawrence, but your St. Lawrence Vikings don't produce the kind of players they did in the 80s.
No. I played football there. They clearly don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. My opinion of their football just hit the shits once Pat
but
got
in 1988, in 1988, Tim Grunhard and Stam Smagala were on that team, and they were from St. Lawrence.
Oh, God. All right, we're going to end this. Hey, buddy. Hey, I want you to call back. I want you to call back and let me know all your insider recruiting Southside Catholic League information.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get in at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, but this surprised me when I saw a 9 o'clock opening. So.
Yeah, beautiful. Hey, man. Hey, thanks a lot for the call, and stay in touch here. If you ever want to get to a Catholic League game, let me and Pat know. I'm always up for that. Let me know.
I'm at a Catholic League game every single Friday night. No problem.
Beautiful, man. Have a good one. Thanks a lot for the call and the insight, my friend. Take care.
Yep. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
See ya. I like that, Pat. That's our old stomping grounds.
That was fun.
Yep, that's fun. Our old stomping grounds. All them old schools and all those old battles.
Man, Mike Olstad, Catholic.
Look at Craig. He donated $19.88. Craig, that's beautiful. I like what you did there, Craig, with the 1988. I like what you did there. All right, I'm going to 646. I know who this is down in Jacksonville. and then we're going to go to 818 after that. Bruce, what up?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Bruce? So for those that don't know, Bruce is a Notre Dame guy, and he's stuck in SEC, ACC down in Florida and Jacksonville, but he's a Notre Dame guy representing us strong. Bruce, what do you make of everything we've been discussing this evening?
So I'll keep it quick. First thing, you guys really make me feel bad that I don't hate Michigan. You guys make me feel terrible.
Well, wait. But Bruce,
yeah, go ahead.
You have so much of your hate that is forced to go to the SEC because it surrounds you. You just don't have a lot of leftover hate for the Northern teams. Like there's a finite amount of hate, and you're in SEC land, and you got to. All your football hate has to be to them. You don't have much left for a Northern team.
Idea.
You let me and Pat handle that hate, and you handle it down south. We got to tag team it.
You have no idea, man. I see them so much as a mirror image of us.
Oh,
physical, smash mouth, academic,
Bruce.
And so it's tough.
Yeah,
anyway.
we've had that discussion before. And the other thing is, Bruce, I will say this. I admit this fully. They're actually a pretty good academic institution for the football players too. And I do respect that about Michigan.
Right.
Like they literally do make their kids like do school. I at least respect that more than I do a lot of other places. But listen, Bruce, we all got to do what we could do. Let me and Pat in the Midwest here in the Chicago area handle the Michigan 8, and we'll let you handle the SEC stuff.
Can I quickly explain my Michigan?
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I just want to real quick get into why I truly loathe Michigan. Well, number one, it's Michigan. Like, who doesn't hate Michigan? But number two, I have working in downtown Chicago for the majority of my career. I have dealt with so many Michigan people, and all they do is talk about how great Michigan is, how great of a city Detroit is, but yet they all live in Chicago. Why? Because Michigan sucks. Detroit is a sewer. It sucks. So they live in Chicago and talk about how great Michigan is. That's why I loathe them.
Yeah, it's a good point. Bruce, what do you make of anything we talked about tonight or anything else? What's in your mind?
Yeah, so the recruiting piece. So one of the things that stuck out to me earlier when Pat was saying how I think it's 247 when Notre Dame gets a guy, it automatically somehow drops their evaluation of that player, and I think that has a lot to do with 247. I mean, we know the SEC runs college football, but beyond that, they're probably looking at it like, wait a minute, if this kid went to Notre Dame, then he probably wasn't that good anyway because the SEC schools really didn't want him, because if they really wanted him, they'd have gotten him. I think that's probably the perspective of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Say again?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the perspective. And finally, when you're talking about Freeman and the recruiting, I think you hit it right on the head, John. The effort is there. But I'm thinking, even with NIL, right? There's only but so much you're going to do in terms of getting that high tier kid to Notre Dame, because at the end of the day, most of them are from where? Southern California, Texas, and the South, right? And so, unfortunately, even with the money, and money changes a lot of things if there's enough, but even with the money, you have to think about the weather, you have to think about the religious overtones, and you have to think about the academics, right? So
and the ladies,
like,
and the ladies, Bruce. Let's not. I mean, come on, man. I got to think about the ladies, the nightlife, what's going on in the town. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And realistically, I've heard stories about college recruiting visits, and these guys. Hey, this is where your dorm room's going to be. Like the old movie He Got Game, and you walk in there, and the young ladies are there.
Yep, that's real. That is literally real.
My played D2 college basketball.
Bruce,
he told me the stories, and that's D2.
Bruce, I know people who have been recruited by these programs. They walk in there, and that is literally the truth. That is what you're up against. Is That is
Right.
out there for you, and it's not just a movie. That really happens. I can verify it. It
Correct.
didn't happen to me because I
Correct.
was never good enough at anything, and I'm mad about it. But for those that were,
Right.
they had whatever they wanted. It was there.
The funny thing about that is
And
it's
so when
not
you-
something
when you-
Notre Dame can
when
offer.
you look at all those things.
Sorry,
Well,
Bruce,
I
go
just
ahead.
say when you look at all those things, my fault. No, when you look at all those things, it makes it really hard to get the top tier guy unless his head's screwed on right. You know, the Andrew Luck type or something.
Yeah, and you know what else,
Unless his head's really
Bruce?
screwed on.
Bruce, good family,
Yeah.
good family, a family that tells them
exactly.
they don't need the money, and they're saying, look at the big picture. This degree could bring you far, whether you go to the NFL or not. Like, a lot of it comes down to those type of dynamics, and it's got to be. It's always had to be a little bit of a unique fit for a guy to choose the Notre Dame path. But I think that's
Correct.
more so than ever now. It's a very unique way to go about it, especially if you fancy yourself an NFL guy, maybe even a 3-year, and then go to the draft guy. If I'm thinking in high school, I'm a 3 and done. Why in the hell, if I'm not even planning on graduating, why do I want to be hitting the books at Notre Dame when I don't plan on being there 4 years of graduating anyways? Like, I logically get that. I get that mentality.
Yeah, no, it's tough. So I mean, I think that, and you know, in the past, Notre Dame has always had the TV deal as a hook to recruit guys. Hey, you'll get seen.
It
But
ain't
now
worth what it
everybody's on
was.
TV, so
Yeah,
that's
it ain't worth what it was.
That's no longer.
Yeah,
right. That's no longer the hook.
Bruce,
It's a
I
really
say it
tough
all the
time.
time, man. Teams I've never heard of are playing on TV channels I've never heard of every Friday and Saturday night now. It's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild, man. Can I ask you this? Maybe I've asked you this before, Bruce, but what is in your area, in your circle where you're at? How do they view Notre Dame? Like, honestly, do they just laugh it off like sleepy old Notre Dame up there? You're nothing. Like, how do they really look at Notre Dame when you're interacting where you're at down in Jacksonville?
So most of the high school kids, the big time players, they all want to play in the SEC, right? Or if not the SEC, freaking ACC, or maybe like UCF or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
or so pretty much Clemson, Florida State, Miami kind of deal, or the SEC.
Right.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And so, unfortunately, a lot of these players don't know where Notre Dame is. They're not old enough to understand that Notre Dame is a historically great program. All they know is that they see Notre Dame losing big game after big game.
Yeah.
And so Notre Dame doesn't hold nearly the mystique that it holds for you, me, the Notre Dame community, and those type of fans. Younger fans aren't nearly as enamored with Notre Dame unless they, you know, grow up in a household that loves them, or like my son, pretty much brainwashed him, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not there. And so it's either, you know, they're getting laughed at. Oh man, Notre Dame ain't nothing. They don't win anything, you know. Which is why it hurt me so bad when Georgia won the title, not this last one, the prior one, because my argument was, you guys keep saying Notre Dame hasn't won since '88 when Georgia hasn't won since '82, but now I can't use that anymore.
Yeah, there goes that
You
one.
know,
Yeah,
so-
that used to be the one, and now that's gone.
That one was painful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I used to throw that at him real quick, you know?
Yeah.
But so I mean, Notre Dame is they're not well viewed here. It is what it is. But you know. But before I get out of here, John, I wanted to say something else I heard you say. Quick shout out, Bishop McNamara, because that is my high school as well, but not the one you went to. Bishop McNamara High School, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. So I want to give a shout out to the McNamara Mustangs.
There you go, man. Hey, we were the Bishop McNamara Fighting Irish, so it worked out great for me. I had all leprechaun hats and logos. Oh, dude, we had all the Irish gear, the leprechaun. It was all the same. So I was able to double up all of my stuff for Notre Dame with high school. It was beautiful.
Yeah, real original school you went to. They just
pretty
stole everything from Notre Dame.
Oh, whatever, Pat. Get over yourself. All right, Bruce, I really appreciate you calling, man. Listen, hold it down there for us, man. Wear that Irish stuff proud, and maybe someday it'll pay off for us.
Oh, one day it will, and it's going to be all the more sweet.
Hey,
There
Bruce,
you go.
were you the guy at the were
It's
you the
great
guy at the bowl
connecting
game?
with you, Bruce. Miss you, man. Take care.
Absolutely.
What are you saying, Pat?
I was going to ask Bruce a question about, wasn't he the one? Didn't he go to the bowl game? That was in Jacksonville, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I
Yeah.
think he was in the booth. Yeah, he was, because he does media. So he
That's
does.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yep. So I think he was actually in the booth. That's beautiful. All right, a couple more calls. We're gonna have to make them quick. I got stuff I got to do tonight. Yet 818.
Wait. What do you have to do?
Pat,
It's 10 o'clock on a
Pat,
Saturday night.
Hold on, Rodney. Pat, I am going to Chicago in the morning. I got stuff I got to do, and I got to get ready. For
I gotta
that.
smoke. I gotta put a turkey
morning.
on the smoker at 6 a.m. and I got a tea time at 8.
You know
I'll
what?
go
Pat?
all night. I'll go all night, all those Irish fans.
You are a turkey smoker. Anyways, Rodney, what's up?
I just wanted to say, welcome, Pat. Welcome, Pat Cotter, man. I had to say that. Give me
Welcome
credit.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
No. Welcome, Pat. Welcome,
like it.
Pat Cotter.
That's good.
Love it, right?
That's good. Hey,
Pat,
I got a
it's chance
question
to
for
meet
you. I got a
Okay,
question for you. Where the hell have you been? Did your schedule change? I haven't seen you as much
Yeah,
lately.
it did change just
I
a little
knew
bit,
it.
John.
I knew it.
And here's the thing. I've also was in Tennessee. I went to Chattanooga recently. Went to Asheville, North Carolina. So I've been traveling. It's weird, man. It's like, and then maybe there's been a couple times when it was like, I just overslept, man. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was, Pat, I didn't get the chance to meet. I wanted to say this before I answered the question that would solve the Michigan versus LSU thing. And I'm going to answer that. You're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Okay. But I didn't get a chance to meet Pat because you know what happened on the Blue Gold game.
Yeah.
I was driving stuff. But I want you to understand, that's not even the point, John. The point is, I still made it. In spite of the fact that you had left, I still made it. That's my dedication. Also, I'm, I feel kind of like about 10 years.
Pat,
That's such a low blow.
Pat, I felt so bad. This guy struggled all day to get there. We're on the toll road, and he goes, John, I'm here. Where are you? I said, we just pulled out. I said, we just walked out of the game. And he goes, I finally made it here. Where are you guys? I go, we just got on the toll road to head home. Sorry. I felt so bad, man. I felt terrible. I got to make it up to you.
Well, Rodney, you come to Central Michigan?
Yeah,
I could do.
Rodney, Central Michigan, we're having a big tailgate for that one. Come over for that one. It's going to be big.
Oh.
Real game, not the spring game. We're doing it big for a real game. That's the one.
Wait. What? Yeah, for sure. I'm there for that.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, Central Michigan.
What's this? Okay, well, we'll talk about it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to eat up time on the phone. Here's the thing. I have the answer to your, by the way, oh God, Pat, don't hate me for saying this. Why do I feel like I'm looking at the illegitimate son of Brian Kelly?
Oh,
Wow. You think he looks like Brian Kelly?
I got to pick the microphone up for this one.
Like Brian Kelly. I said it was like the son of Brian Kelly.
Wow.
Influence that. So I could not help it. I'm looking, I'm like, and I know how you feel about
Dude,
Brian
I
Kelly.
do not
So
like Pat. I do not like you as much anymore. That's mean. That's bad, dude. I don't like that at all. That's a brutal hit, man. And now, dude, why did you have to put this in my head? Because now I see it too. Why did you have to do that?
I see it too.
I almost didn't say that because I'm thinking it the whole time. I'm like, if I say it, am I going to offend him? But if I don't say it, it's like I just lost great material on a call tonight.
I do not like this at all. I do not like this at all. Pat, I'm never going to be able to look at you again. This is horrible. Oh.
Not the first time you said that to me.
Oh my God. Dude, Pat, you're great, man. By the way,
Oh my God. Oh, the chat. Rodney, you're blowing up the chat. Oh my God. I actually do. Oh God, you just
This
ruined.
is terrible.
You just ruined my own day. Oh my God.
You only look like a hybrid of them. I'm not saying.
I'm going to go get a visor. I'll be right back.
A son of Brian Kelly.
And you know what else?
Someone that-
You know what else? Now that we're making fun of him, he's turning purple and red too, just like Brian Kelly. He's got the same flair. You get Pat going, and he gets that. He gets that.
Like LSU. Oh, come on. Oh.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That is. Oh, I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it.
Funny,
that is brutal.
Oh man, I love it.
Oh
Listen,
my
got
God.
to answer your question. Here it is.
All right, go.
So, Brian Kelly and Jim Harbaugh both jumped to the NFL 1 week before the national title game. Brian Kelly gets the Patriots job because Belichick retires. And he would do that. He would jump before the national title game. He almost did at Notre Dame. Same thing happens to Harbaugh. It don't matter who wins because whatever team wins, that head coach was not the coach of the team. That solves the entire issue. It would probably be slightly better if LSU had won because it would really embarrass Michigan. Even if Jim Harbaugh was there, it wasn't because Brian Kelly would jump to the NFL, not get the national title glorification. Okay, still have the stigma of not winning that big game, but Michigan doesn't win it either.
Wow.
Come on, tell me that's not the scenario that would win, that would fix that.
That's just, this is bad. Yeah, dude, we're not even talking about what you just said. You ruined the whole night. The whole thing's ruined. No, it's all done. Pat, like, this is awful. Now, whenever I see Pat, I see Swamp Thing. This is just bad.
The chat is hysterical right now. Family.
Oh, this is so bad. Now I just see, it's so Kelly-ish. Oh my God, this is bad.
It's like a new color. It's not purple.
You know what else too? They have similar physical builds. Like not overweight. Not really overweight, but not really like in shape either. Not overweight, but not like in great shape either.
And not solely Brian Kelly. Only 50%.
I don't like this. You ruined the night. Why did you have to put that in my mind?
I don't think, John, I don't think he ruined the night. I think he made the night. That's just freaking hysterical.
Dude, but how did nobody else come up with that until you? But now everybody's looking at it like, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Even I did it. Even I'm like, oh my God. I'm staring at myself on the screen. I was like, damn it.
Welcome, Pat.
Oh, God. All right, man. Now that you ruined the show, let me get off this so I could go live my life and do what I have to do. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Enough. I'm glad that we didn't even have to talk football this time. That was great.
Oh, my God. And then, hey, wait.
Yes, man.
I'm going to get to campus.
Michigan, but also maybe for that public signing, that autograph signing, I mean, is that something that's public?
What happened? Did he hang up? Or did the line? Yeah.
No, I'm here. I'm saying, is that public autograph signing also a possibility of meeting up or whatever?
Yeah, it is, but I'm going to be there to do what I got to do that day. But if you want to go over there, that's fine. I don't know what's going on after it, but yeah.
I just saw it and I was like, oh, is that? Okay. All right. Well, nevertheless, man, you guys have a great night.
I can't believe you did this, dude. This is going to be in my brain now. I can't believe you did this.
You know me.
I know. You always come up with something like, right, that nobody else would think of. And then you come up with it. And this one was it. Man, that's brutal.
Have a good night. Hey, Pat, thanks for being a great sport, man. Because I know you're not. I know your feelings on Brian Kelly, man. I know your feelings on Brian.
That's beautiful. Thanks, man. Have a good weekend.
Hold on. I'm trying to bring up Brian Kelly purple face.
That is terrible. That is terrible, Pat. Look what he just did to you. You do look like him.
Oh, it won't let me do it. Stupid thing.
You do look like him. All right, last call of the night. 484. What's going on?
Hey, that's right. What's up, Johnny boy?
That's right. What's going on a Saturday night? What's on your mind?
My last call was brutal, man. That would never happen.
That's
scenario
tough.
between Michigan. That's no way.
I know.
That guy's living in another dimension.
That's tough. That's tough.
Oh, I got a couple things on my mind.
Yeah,
I wanna
let it
talk
rip.
about.
Let it rip.
About if when our contract's up with NBC, I want them out of there. I can't stand the broadcast guys there, and I want them to go back to CBS. Remember back when they were independent, all the big games were on CBS. I just love the theme because in the beginning of CBS, how it goes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the big games were on in '88, and because SEC's going to ESPN in 2025, so
Yeah.
that'd be
Listen,
great if they get
man,
that.
I just don't feel like Notre Dame's getting a effort out of NBC in a lot of ways. I don't
No, it's a joke anymore.
I
agree.
I don't
agree.
appreciate being forced to do streaming for a real game. If you want to make it an option, I love the option. To force it for a real game when there's only 12 games a year and 6 at home or 7 or 5, whatever they have in a year, I don't like that. The booth is amateur hour. There's no balls in the booth.
There's trash. The straight garbage.
I think
mean,
they thought
why don't NBC go after Brady Quinn? And I want to see Brady Quinn and like one of the not the younger goalie because he's kind of douchey. But the older seniors, all right. But who else? Oh, Brady. They should go after Brady and Gus Johnson from Fox. That would be the
dude, God, could you imagine?
That would be awesome.
Could you imagine? But I don't. God, you know what? You know what offends me? Listen, I'm going to tell you what offends me. It offends me.
I'm listening.
It offends me that you think we're all such simps that you could sell me just because Collinsworth is the last name and the kid went to Notre Dame. That they thought it pisses me off. They think I'm so dumb that I'm going to go Collinsworth and he played here. I'm going to accept this no matter how good he is at the job or not. No, it isn't Dad. If you wanted to get serious about it, give me Dad. Now you got balls in the booth. Let Chris roll that chair into the intro. Now you got a real booth, not the kid.
Yeah, Collinsworth used to do it back in the day. Like he was all right, and like in the beginning they had decent thing, but man, lately, and that when they had Tony Dungy, that what was that 2020? That was a snooze fest. I was literally that. What was it when they played LSU? I mean Louisville, and it was like 12-7 a game. And dude, I was falling. Dude, Tony Dungy and whoever I like Tirico. Tirico wasn't bad, but when they had Tony
Tirico's
Dungy,
a pro. Listen,
Tirico's all right. I didn't mind Tirico.
Mike Tirico. Nice. Tirico is a bona fide pro in the business.
He was
he's a pro, and he has that pull. When Tirico speaks, you listen. He is bona fide. He is a legit dude. You give me a guy right out of college just because it was Dad is and that he played here, kind of, and I'm supposed to just love it. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And it offends me.
It's amateur hour.
It is amateur hour.
And
why is Notre Dame dealing with amateur hour with their TV partner? That shouldn't be how it is.
We're Notre Dame. We're Notre Dame. That counts for something in my book. We got to get the best of the best. Like that's why when our contract's up with NBC, I wouldn't mind them seeing going with CBS or Fox because they just don't give a shit anymore. That's the way I look at it. And then I don't know if is it. Hello?
Yeah. I'm listening.
Oh, you're still there. Oh, okay. I thought my phone died on me. I just fucking hung up. I would have been pissed. But yeah, either that or one of them. If NBC doesn't like make Notre Dame a priority, which I don't think they are, because everybody they're putting in that commentating booth, it's like a trade. It's like the minor leagues for them to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, we're Notre Dame. We're no stepping stone for anybody.
Yeah. So what do you want to see them do? Wait, all right, that covers the TV deal. If you're mad about that, you probably have an opinion on the uniforms too. What do you want to see them do for their apparel?
I listened to you thing with Under Armour. I wanted to get rid of Under Armour.
Yeah.
I either want Nike or the Jordan or the Nike Jordan jump.
Yeah.
Because if you get that Nike, all the recruits want that. I don't want.
Listen, all right. Can I tell you this?
Garbage.
I know for a fact the players want Jordan.
The players want
Yeah.
Jordan, but
Yeah,
there's a
that's-
lot.
yeah.
I know that. Like, I know that from the people I know. They want Jordan, but it isn't that simple. There's a lot more that goes into that business decision than just asking the room what they want.
Yeah.
But they all
But
want
no,
Jordan.
That would be the thing I want.
I've been told they want Jordan. So do I, kind of. But
I think Marcus Freeman would rock night. I mean, Marcus Freeman, he would look good in anything. But I think, and I think again, if we would get Nike or either Jumpman Nike, I don't care which one, both of them would be fine. And then plus, dude, that would be good for basketball too. And that's true. I mean, I don't know if you follow basketball a lot, but like I follow everything Notre Dame. But they're getting some dudes, and they're getting some guys who are they're like 6. They're getting some height in there. They'll be fun to watch this year. That Mike Bray towards the end, man, that was bad. He was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he did what he did. I mean, he had a good run. I liked the play. We called him the slickster because he always had his hair slicked back.
Yeah.
But towards the end, man, I mean, how you make almost made the Sweet 16 last year, and then to go like that was just bad.
Yeah. Yep. No, man.
So that's what I want. That's what I want with the uniforms. And what else was I going to say? With our schedule this year, there's no reason, dude. We got to be undefeated going in Ohio State, and we got to beat them. And then another thing too, I like your one with our fans. Our fans are so we got to not. I don't know. They should only give out maybe $5,000 to or however many they give. But our fans, they're the problem because they sell them tickets to everybody because they can get a lot of money for them. But we got to turn it backwards. Like you don't want that. You don't know Ohio State fans in there. You keep your ticket or sell to, like you said, sell to a Notre Dame fan. You know what I mean? Because that's bullshit. When we have big games and then that Georgia game in was 17 with all that red and then oh my god. And the other call before with the Florida, the SEC to me, it's nothing. It's a 2-team league. We own we own LSU. We beat them. The only team like Georgia, we played them twice, lost them by point, and the other, and then lost them by 6. The only team that handles us is Bama.
Yeah.
And everybody flirts on the SEC. I can't stand it, man. They're just trash. They're not like, oh, the SEC. Well, what do you have there? It's a bunch of it's 2 teams or maybe 3 at the most.
And you know what else they did?
Rest are garbage.
You know what else they did? They also agreed to still, they're doing the 8 games instead of the 9 conference games. And you know what that is. They want to be able to have as many teams with the fewest losses in this new 12-team playoff. And if you only have 8 conference games and then you could schedule nobody else, that's why they did that. They want to jack that playoff up with as many at-large SEC teams. And if you have 8 instead of 9 conference games, that helps that mission. That is the only reason they made that decision. It isn't about competitive, playing the toughest games week to week. No. It's about getting as many teams in that playoff as possible.
Yeah. Well, the way the playoffs set now, we're set. There's no when it goes to 12 teams, Notre Dame should be in every year, and it's not. That's unacceptable. I mean, but it sucks that they made that thing because you can't. We can only if we're undefeated, we can't get the 5 or what?
Number 5
is 4 or whatever.
5.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? If we're undefeated, ranked that high, I could deal with being 5th because you got a pretty good team. If you're undefeated, we could deal with that.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, we could deal with that.
Yeah.
So, would you have a stroke if we join the Big Ten soon? What do you want them to do there?
With that, I want as long as we can stay independent or whatever, I'm fine with it. But it's if they're gonna screw us and say or whatever, right now we're always Notre Dame's always going to be at the table. Let me just, you know what I mean. So we're always in conversation. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, they do. If not, I mean, you got your things, but I love the independent because we can schedule whoever we want. You know what I mean. But the Big Ten. I mean, I guess we'll get some big time TV money. I'll tell you that or whatever.
Oh,
I think when Notre Dame's contract's coming up, they're going to get theirs.
90.
So whoever they sign with, I mean, Notre Dame should just go with the highest bidder, and then you can keep everything. That's why I want to go with CBS if they go with them or whoever. If NBC, they're not going to.
Dude,
not gonna renew an
I would love that old CBS intro into Notre Dame. I would love that again. Yeah.
You know who I loved back in the day when they Brett Musburger doing those games and like CBS and who else? Tim Brando did. Oh, for what they did, back in the day, they had ESPN. Used to be like Tim Brando and I forget the other guy's name, but I mean, because I was watching these old games on YouTube, and I was like, man, that CBS the entrance before the game. Oh man, that'd be great if they go back with them because SEC teams they're leaving CBS, they're going to ESPN. So fuck, I'd be like, let's go back to CBS.
Yeah, but I'm all for take the best deal. Whoever's going to roll out the red carpet,
get the most money as you can. I mean, you're from Notre Dame. Everybody wants this. You know what I mean?
And so I think we're in a position where you could chill and kind of see what else happens with the ACC.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
See what happens with exactly. And then you have that to know the other dynamic. I think Notre Dame has some time to chill here before.
Oh yeah. That's what I like. I mean, Sorbo, he made a lot of good moves, but that's what I like about him. He just is like, he doesn't jump to, like, I remember it didn't pandemic. Oh, Notre Dame's gonna need. No, we don't need to do shit. We don't need to join a conference because Notre Dame saved that college football season 2020. If it wasn't for Notre Dame, nobody else did. They're the ones that saved that 2020 season because of Notre Dame. You're welcome, America.
Yeah, you're. What a great, what a great way to end the show. What a great way to end the show. America. The last call. You're welcome, America, for Notre Dame. You're welcome, damn it.
This is what I always say. We're like, I'm from Pennsylvania, but we got a lot of Notre Dame fans up here, and I always say, if it wasn't for Notre Dame football, this country wouldn't exist.
There you go. I like that, man.
Hey, a lot of good ones.
Hey,
listen, we're Notre Dame, and you're not.
Dude, that's it. That's the last call. The last thing I want said on the airwaves. That is beautiful,
I'll be
man.
one of your best callers. I called in a couple last year, a couple times.
Dude, February 21st, 2022. That's like a full year and a year and a few months ago. That's too long.
Yeah, I wanted to get back. I gotta call in more.
You got to get back in the mix because you're a good caller with a lot of energy, man.
Are you going out to any games this year?
We're doing a tailgate for Central Michigan. We're having a full Always Irish tailgate. So we're gonna have everybody out there for that. It's hard for me for the bigger games because I don't want to lose all the YouTube revenue and all the traffic by being there and not being able to do shows. But we're doing a big tailgate for Central Michigan, so that's the big one so far.
I like that. I like that defensive tackle that just committed.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. 315 already. He's a little doughy. He's a little doughy.
I like the swagger he plays with.
Yeah, he's a little doughy.
He'll be a 4-star by the time it's on. Yeah, we're doing good recruiting.
Yeah.
The only thing I just wish that the administration just give fucking Marcus Freeman what he wants. Okay.
Yeah.
Notre Dame was known for the football. That's how they got put on the map.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want him to leave somewhere because he's fighting with the administration.
I know.
Just give him what he wants.
Let the man work. Let the guy cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, let him go. He's a killer recruiter.
Marcus
Freeman.
Freeman.
Get those players.
Marcus Freeman respects Notre Dame so much. He would not cross any lines, do anything that will embarrass us. Like that guy.
He gets it. He's like Holtz.
Yeah, he gets it, and he realizes.
So we're fine. I mean, he did a great job last year. We went 9-4, which we should have won. We went what? 8, what is it? 9? We went 9-4, but we should have had 11 wins because we never should have lost to Marshall and Stanford.
Yeah.
But he did all this with a backup quarterback, so we know the guy can coach. He's a good coach, and I mean with Drew Pine, give me a break. That guy's a little scrub.
Yeah.
If we would have I like our quarterback room now. I like that Kenny Minchie who they picked up, and then they got Sam Hartman, and then that CJ Carr. He's a stud. We'll be fine with him, and then we're gonna get the players. That your caller before. If we got it, or no, Pat said it. If once we get like a Keon Keeley and he's there, and we can find and have success, we'll start bringing them in.
You just need one.
I hope they go after that Eli Rushing or that Ed or that. I hope we get that Justin Scott because he's in our backyard. That's a Chicago kid. They should get every Chicago kid.
Yeah,
in my book.
I don't know how that's gonna go. Listen up, man. Yeah. I really appreciate the energy. I appreciate the call.
I'm glad I got in because I was waiting. I was waiting on like 3 calls. I didn't know you were gonna end the show.
No, you're all good, man.
Call.
You're all good though.
All right.
Listen, call again though. I like your energy. It's a little different, and I like it. Call me again. Promise me you will.
I will. Oh,
Make,
absolutely,
well,
John. I love
make
your
it
show.
not in another year, though. I need to talk to you more than once a year.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Get in the
Okay.
mix, baby.
All right,
Thank
John.
you.
Hey, you guys have a good night.
Beautiful.
All right, go Irish.
Thanks,
Thanks a
man.
lot.
Good call.
Good call.
Yep.
Well, Pat.
I swear, John, I have tears coming out of my mouth. I keep wiping my eyes because it just doesn't stop.
Well, like every
This
next
is the
message
gift that
makes me
keeps
laugh.
giving.
Everyone is funnier than before. Like
Yeah, I think the guy that blamed me for Brian Van Gorder, that's the winner right there. That was funny shit right there.
Oh my God, that got so funny. Like that, dude, that really took off though. With now it's put in people's minds that you look like him. That's it. We're ending the show. That's it.
I think hold on. I do like the Always Tigers show, but I think what it just the nonstop everything that everybody hates about Brian Kelly putting it to me is hysterical, and it just shows. It just shows at how bad Brian Kelly truly turned out to be.
But I just love directing all that hate to
All
you.
that on
It's
me.
just perfect,
All
right
that
to
on
you,
me.
Pat. All that hate's going right on you, bud.
It was phenomenal.
All right,
Phenomenal.
listen. That's going to be it. This was a fun show, little different vibe. Thanks for everybody that donated, all the chatters, all the callers. Thank you, Pat, for being here. Mitch and everything we got going with the Sam Hartman deal. I will put out promotional stuff with more details for you guys to see where to get tickets and all that. But again, I'm thrilled to be a part of it. If I could help Notre Dame NIL at all, it's the least I could do to further the cause. But thanks everybody for being here. Pat, any final words?
Real quick, we're off next week, right? No show next week.
Yep, we're both going to be out of town.
And then on the 9th of July, I'm in Indiana already.
Yeah, but you're not going to want to come over there and hang out with us, are you? What are you doing over there?
Why not? What do I care?
I don't know. Come on by, man.
But hey, July 9th at Forever Young Sports Club Cards, Forever Young Sports Cards, 166 Southwest Street, Crown Point, Indiana. Sam Hartman autograph signing session sponsored by Always Irish.
It's a beautiful thing. Glad to be a part of it. And Pat, there are some future things with this that we could get involved with too. So we'll go over that. This is just the beginning.
Awesome. It's awesome.
This is just the beginning.
I'm proud of you on that stuff, buddy. Way to go. John, you got a great show. You got great listeners. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
No problem, man. Thanks for helping out. Everybody have a good night. The rest of the weekend. We will be back. Live show Monday morning, regular time. We'll see y'all there. Have a good one. Good night.